4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live! Hello all, and welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the one, the only, the God himself, Mr. Justin Thomas James.
Hello.
And we are here tonight bringing you a brand new one-page dungeon known as the one and only Bartizan of the Blood Egg. How y'all doing tonight?
Feeling groovy.
You might have heard that title and wonder what a Bartizan is. Well, interesting fun fact. Bartizan.
I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm Googling it now. Looks like a Bartizan is an overhanging corner turret at the top of a castle or a church tower. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy to be here tonight. It is, of course, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and we are running an RPG for you. This little game comes to you from Max White, one of the final five, I suppose, of the 2018 Dungeon one-page contest that is run every year. It is a really fun dungeon that I'm really excited to run for you tonight. Unfortunately, Jo could not make it. She is feeling under the weather. She has had a terrible flu, and we wish you well, darling. Take care of yourself to get better. Maybe not a clap is. Maybe a clap's not the right. Maybe it should be this.
Could be yeah.
More appropriate? Less appropriate?
I think so. I think it's the right amount of appropriate. The Goldilocks appropriate.
The Goldilocks prope. That's right. It is Wednesday night, as I said. This is going to be an 18+ show. If you are not comfortable with no-no words such as pee-pee, poo-poo, dada, ding-dong, and anal sex, then that's okay. You don't have to watch this stream. There are plenty of other streams. There's that great G-rated stream put on by the Christian community that talks about, I don't know. That's gonna
anal
start,
sex.
talk about anal sex, but that's different. That's through the church, not us. Whoa!
Whoa!
Whatever, it happened. It did. Let's not pretend it didn't. Fuck that. Anyway, 18+ show. That's right. You don't have to watch this, but please before you do.
I don't think many people will after this.
No, that's okay. You know what? That's what happens. That's life. Deal with it. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to us. And if you downvoted after that comment, just wait a little bit. I mean, well, you can downvote what you want, but it still exists. You can just, you know. Anyway, welcome. When you are watching us, it's always a great time for us. So, you know, enjoy that. Man, God, this has been a rocky start. You'd think I'd be drinking, but I'm only having an energy drink because I'm so freaking tired. You know what puts me out more than anything? A bath.
What's that?
A bath.
Did you have a bath?
I did.
Oh, and then that kind of like subdued you. You're kind of ready for that chamomile tea.
Yeah, I also have a tea, and I think there's turmeric in it. I don't know if that's a sleepy thing.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. That's with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It goes back to the... Anyway. The turmericator. 18+ show. That's right. Sorry. So, going back to what we were talking about 20 minutes ago. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at INVICTUS Stream. And Instagram. We're at the INVICTUS Stream. Finally, and most importantly, you want to follow us on Facebook. On Facebook, we are the INVICTUS Stream. We have a group and a page. Join the group. When you join the group, a bunch of cool things happen. You get to be with your friends, whom are us. You also get a chance to win the most valuable post. What is the most valuable post? Well, it's the post of the week that we distinguish, that we highlight, that we say, hey, you're better than everybody else here, and you deserve a little something extra. And this week, I would like to award it to the very lovely, the very talented, the very sexy... Mr. Marvin Tanner!
Hey!
For his fantastic post about the Invictionary, which was he wanted to collect all of the words that are related to the INVICTUS stream. Some great ones here. A buggle being a non-broodling, a ruggle being a non-RPG player. Some of my favorites from our games were, of course, the Ignorant Farmer and the lovely Zia pointing out my sure enough, which happens all the time. I think less as of late, though. I also like Zia's calling an NPC an Eddie, which is a suspicion of a later betrayer. And if you haven't watched all of our streams, that might be a nod to something. That's a little too obvious, isn't it? Anyway, so great post, Marvin. Really, really funny and awesome. I think we should keep that going. I want to see how many terms we can get in there. And sure enough, it'll be a winner.
And I'll narrate it.
You'll narrate.
Just like they have narrators for the dictionary. Oxford.
Do they?
No, I don't think so.
They
I
might.
wish that. Well, they kind of do. They have them on, like, if you go to like Merriam-WebsterDictionary.com, you have the pronunciation there. But you couldn't like go to Audible.com and download like 20 chapters of all the words in the English language.
Could you imagine? And could you imagine getting paid for that gig? It'd be so long.
Chapter 10.
Chapter
J.
215. The J's. That's right. So well done, Marvin. You are an awesome bloke, and I like you a lot. And you're a weird dude. I like that a lot.
Your XP has been updated as of 45 seconds ago.
Justin, the XP nerd.
That's me. Feel free to spend it during the game tonight.
Yeah, Justin's gonna need it because it's only a 2-player game, and it's gonna be toughy. Want to do a few quick announcements. Tonight's system is going to be the World of Dungeons, which is a great little system that you can find online for free. Whoa. If you want to make a character and play along, do whatever floats your boat. Because it wouldn't benefit anything, but like, why not?
Now,
right? Maybe you can like.
Would it be cool? Would it be cool if they like went and downloaded this map and watched it? Watched the adventure happening along?
Yeah, I guess we could. Oh, we've never done it that way, have we?
We've never done it that way, yeah.
Maybe we should.
But then they'd be able to like, they'd be able to help me out and be like, "Oh, I think you should look in this."
You're not going to watch the chat anyway, are you?
I'm very bad at it.
You know what? Anyone who wanted to could find this because the title of the RPG is the title of the thing anyway. But I would recommend anybody watching to not check it out just yet. There's a bit of a twist in this one that I'm excited about. So maybe just enjoy the ride. Also, also, I want to do 2 quick other shout-outs, sort of, in a way. First and foremost, I want to shout out to the lovely, fantastic, amazing patron supporters. Patreons, please. Because you guys got a glimpse of Justin's home studio there this week. If you support us for $10 or more, you got a behind-the-scenes tour of Justin's video, his editing suite, and a bit of a one-on-one with us. Joe, Justin, myself, and Henry was featured in this video. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. If you are not a Patreon supporter, that's okay. But if you have the ability to, maybe follow the link in the description and help us do what we do in a way that makes us do what we do. Yeah, it makes everything easier, and there's a lot of good stuff coming up in the new year that we're excited to announce. Just a few things need to be firmed up before we make any big announcements. But let me just tell you, some big announcements are on the way. Do you feel what I'm saying? I think it's a wrestling reference. I don't know. I never watched it. Anyway, so thank you so much to the Patreon supporters. You guys are seriously the heroes of the stream, and I do a bad job at celebrating you. So here's a big round of applause for you.
You're the best. Around. No one ever gonna bring you down.
In fact, what I'm going to do right now in the Patreon lounge, which is a very specific section of the blah, 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 is I'm going to post the link, not the link, but the video, not the video, but the fucking page. Not the thing I keep saying, but the other thing I keep saying. The PDF of what we're running tonight. So if you guys want to check it out right now, you can check it out. It's in the Patreon lounge section of the Discord chat. Another thing I realized this second is that I constantly mention the Facebook, the YouTube, and I never mention the Discord. Does that make me a bad person? Yes. So, if you're watching this, make sure you follow the link in the description to our Discord channel. Our Discord channel is where we put 90% of our communication during, 100% of the communication during the game, and yet I never talk about it, so.
Discord. Yeah, that's where
I'm not going to beat myself up over it.
When it's live.
I'm human.
Yeah. That's what you want everybody to think, at least.
You know I'm a lizard person, and you know I'm self-conscious about it because of my tail. Anyway, finally, I wanted to mention on January 12th, there's a very special thing coming up. What's coming up, Justo?
January 12th, we're going to be going to a very special place.
He's trying to check his calendar really
quick. The home of this very beer.
Harvest Moon.
Yes, the Harvest Moon with peaches and apricot from Chronicle Brewery. We are going to be going there. Myself, Harlan, Joe, I believe Chris is going to be.
Chris is going. He may not be running a game this time unless I can twist his nipples, but he's definitely going to be there.
Yeah, and we're going to be running different RPGs. I'll be doing Dragon Age. I don't know. Harlan, what are you running?
If Chris is not running something, if Chris is coming and he's running something, Joe and I are going to team up again and do a two-headed D&D game, which was just an absolute blast in my opinion. I had a really great time. But if he's not coming, I'm probably going to run Call of Cthulhu. No, I think it's too high energy in there for Call of Cthulhu. Probably The Strange.
The Strange, yeah.
Or End of the World.
End of the World. Yeah, but that End of the World that we ended it with last time was fun.
Yeah, it was.
So I guess we could maybe do 2 End of the World games.
You know what?
Like
As this is, you know what? Maybe I'll do a one-page dungeon.
One-page dungeon. Yeah, so anyways, we're going to be running games. And if you are in the Toronto/Bowmanville area...
Which is not the same area.
Yeah, you should definitely come out. Come drink some beer. They've got some amazing beer, including the Ignoramus Pharmacus, which is...
It's the Roman version of our beer.
Our beer. And by our, I mean Harlan's beer, my beer, Joe's beer, Marvin Tanner's beer, Aisha's beer, Chris Sparks' beer, everybody's beer. If you're watching this, this is your beer. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Drink it up. Drink it.
That's some forceful ass beer forcing down my throat. And that's okay. You do you, Justin. You do you. That means you be as forceful as you want to me. For some reason.
Thank you. I like to be dominant. Yeah, so come check it out. January 12th.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a load of fun. And I like loads of fun.
Well said.
Yeah. So, yeah. It was a great time last time. Shout out to Johnny, the fantastic Johnny, and Ted, two handsome, kind gentlemen who really make a great beer. Multiple great beers.
Last time I saw Ted, I think I called him Tim.
Well, apologize.
I think I might.
Now. Right.
Okay. Say Tim. I'm sorry.
Just double down. Double down. Other than that, I don't think there's any big other announcements. Christmas is coming up.
When? What day is it this year?
I think it lands on the 25th this year.
Oh, yeah?
Here's a question for the community. Do you guys want to see our Christmas game on the week before Christmas, which would be like the 17th
19th?
Or something? 19th?
19th, yeah.
Okay. Or the day after Christmas, a.k.a. Boxing Day.
Yeah, so the question is Christmas like Halloween,
too early,
where the day afterwards nobody cares anymore?
I think the day after, personally, this is just me.
Boxing Day, yeah.
Yeah, because the week before, I'm still working. Secondly, really, that's the only reason.
Yeah,
I want to have. So long, yeah, we got it, and we're gonna have eggnog and rum on stream. It's always an end of the world game.
Are we running End of the World? Well, maybe we should run a poll. We'll do a poll this week.
A North Pole?
No, just a regular poll on Facebook.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let's just do it the 26th.
Oh, okay. We can do that too.
Who cares what you think?
You literally just asked everybody.
I did.
Literally asked.
But you know what?
What do you think?
It was one of those things that as I asked it, I was still processing it and then came to the decision without needing the answer. You know, it's sort of like how I do everything in my life. I'm kind of like, man, should the protagonist in the story be this? And you're like, well, maybe. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. No, it shouldn't. And then I change it. So
Yeah, yeah. You ask someone's opinion, and then they give you the opinion, and then you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, I know what I'm going to do anyway." So sometimes just like talking about it gives you the, I don't know, like the act of asking somebody kind of solidifies the thought in your mind.
Or sometimes you're like me, and you're just a terrible person.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
But you'd go 3/4 of the way, and that's enough.
3/4 of the way. 3/4 of the way.
All right. I guess we're ready to do this, right?
Are we going to do this?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to talk about at the beginning. I mean, we could keep going, but I'm pretty sure they come here to watch.
I don't think I have... This beer is delicious, by the way, this Harvest Moon.
Yeah, why don't you give us a quick little ad?
Shine on, harvest moon, up in the sky. Hi there. My name's Justin Thomas James, and you were just listening to Ella Fitzgerald sing Shine on, Harvest Moon, the inspiration for Chronicle Brewery's latest beer, Harvest Moon. It's a lovely wheat IPA with peach and apricot overtones. You're going to love the fresh warmth that it brings to you this Christmas season. But don't take it from me. Why don't you take it from Ebenezer Buckles himself?
Harvest Moon is a great beer!
Thank you, Ebenezer. Harvest Moon, wheat IPA from Chronicle Brewery. Coming to you whenever you get to Chronicle Brewery.
Great. And I'm thinking, snip, dip that shit, put it on the screen, and just run it on loop 24 hours a day. A 20-second ad, just constantly.
Why don't we go in with Chronicle, spend $4,000 on a Facebook ad campaign,
Already
just
sold.
with not that clip actually. Let's do the entire episode. This entire episode, 3 hours. It'll show up on people's feeds. They'll watch the first 40 minutes and they'll get to that ad.
Totally.
And then they'll see it, then they'll go buy the beer.
I'll be honest, you had me at hi, my
$4,000.
What grade are you in?
That I never said that.
That was like 7 years ago.
7? That's it.
I don't know. How old are we now?
I was 22.
You're 22.
7 years.
Oh my god. How long have we known
still
each other?
school?
That's too long.
Like, we've known each other for 3/4 of my life, I think.
We're using your life as a scale?
Yes, my life is the metric for how long.
And you're
of course
30.
we're using my life. Yeah.
And you're
we've known each other since.
Hold on, let me do this math.
You were 12, I think.
Why are you using my age now?
Metrics.
Okay, right. I'm metric and you're kilometers.
That is metric.
I know. Raw Sugar is their best hit, but you know, Monster Hospital was good. Anyway, let's do this. Let's play the game, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, Bartizan.
Everybody play the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Bartizan of the Blood Egg. Alejandro Esteban, you, for the past 7 years, have been obsessed with one thing, and one thing alone. You first heard about it in whispers at a high-class party that you just happened to be thieving from, while wearing your signature mask, slipping through the crowd, eating some hors d'oeuvres on your way up to lockpick the safe on the highest peak of this castle. You overheard a woman. Oh yes, no, the blood egg, the most fabled gem of our century. And beyond that, it slipped from your mind until you heard it again, in passing company at the Thieves' Guild while returning some of your loot. A few weeks later again, the blood egg, the blood egg, the blood egg. The name rung in almost every corner of every circle that you either thieved from or occupied. And for a long time, it lay a mystery, hidden amongst the sands of time. Until one fateful afternoon, you stumbled upon a young thief who was caught by the law, and you, helping him out, he traded some information about this fabled blood egg. Not only what it actually was, but where it existed. Existing in a Bartizan owned by Voluntia the Vivimancer. Of course, he told you that the only way into this fabled tower that she owned was by having a very particular passcode. From there, he expanded on how valuable the egg was, that any person who could get their hands on this egg would be not just quickly one of the most rich people in the world, but also hold the proudest esteem one could have in the thieving world. He mentioned one last name to you before slipping off into the shadows of the side alley in the town of Sklak. And that was a name. The name Rapal Tungsten. The man who could only be reached by a male who had the information on the passcode to the fabled witch's tower. You quickly scratched off a letter and sent it by Raven to this Rapal, who responded to you. Meet me at 10 o'clock on the dot in a fortnight in the Gilded Groose with 750 gold pieces, and I will give you the passcode to the fabled tower so that you may retrieve the blood egg. And as you stand out front of the Gilded Grouse, it's grouse, I said it wrong, on this fortnight, the moon lies high above you, shimmering on the pools of water on either side of this tavern that sits next to a beautiful lake.
See, it's the harvest moon tonight, actually.
Yes.
Actually, no. Is it? Oh,
no,
hello.
No, it is. You're right, Alejandra. It is the harvest moon, says Whippoorwillow, your small companion. Who are we looking at?
Are we looking at Whippoorwillow? Are we looking at me?
We are looking
Alejandro.
at you, Alejandro.
Oh, yeah, see. Well, Alejandro Esteban is a tall, very handsome-looking man. Ruggedly handsome. Dark skin, smooth, flowing hair that's tied in a bun at the back of his head. He also has a bit of a mustache, but it's not a real mustache. It's something that he puts on for different occasions. Bit of a disguise, if you will. But I still go by Alejandro, even though it's a disguise for somebody else. And other than that, I am wearing some very fine clothing. The clothing of a nobleman, even though many would not consider me very noble for acts that I have done. Stealing, spending time with the farmers' daughters, I don't know. Maybe not the most noblest of pursuits, but I am a man who loves to live life. I am full of zest. I am zesty, and you can see it in the way I strut.
Yes, you're very, very zesty, Alejandro, says a small
Did
standing behind
I
you.
say that all out loud?
Yes, you did, because Alejandro always speaks in the third person.
I do speak. Alejandro does speak in the third person. Yes, he does.
Standing next to you, literally in your shadow from the moon, is a young boy of maybe 4 feet. He's thin and wiry and has matted black hair and a paper mask cut out and taped to his face. Young Whippoorwillow, I had to check it, stands next to you, a makeshift burlap cape God, I can't think tonight. Cape hangs loose from his shoulders as he turns to you, trying to mimic your very confident posture. Yes, Alejandro, and thank you again for letting me come along. Who is Whippoorwillow to you, Alejandro?
Whippoorwill is a young boy who, at first, I thought he was just common rabble, just one of those, street urchins that are trying to steal from you, filthy people. But actually, I watched him try to steal from someone I didn't like. Lord Hastings was his name, and, well, he did a pretty good job of it. And I thought, hey, well, this kid knows what he's doing. Actually, he reminds me a bit of me when I was a boy. So I decided to take him under my wing and teach him the ways of being a man of zest and a thief as well.
And Whippoorwillow is definitely a boy of zest as he stands, his chest protruded as well, and his hands at his side. All right, Alejandro, what are we doing now? Oh, I'm not British anymore, am I? God damn it.
I would say that he is not zest. That he is not quite a man of zest. He is more of a boy of zeh. He's not quite there. He needs the S, which is the sex, and he needs the T, which is the thieving. That was he's missing. He's not a pro like myself. He doesn't even have a whip. But one day when he proves himself to me, he will get his whip to go with his name.
I hope to get my whip one day, Alejandro, Whip says, his accent sort of coming back up. It's a fake accent that the boy puts on, and he sort of shakes. And as he does, he sort of jumps to the side of the tavern door upon some crates and steps onto a barrel. And he pulls out his small little sword, and he says, "Come, Alejandro, let's inside. Oh, what are we doing here again?"
Come here, boy. I speak to you quietly so that other people cannot hear us. Okay?
And he jumps down and sort of looks up to you with big, beautiful brown eyes.
See, it's called whispering. See, I'm going to speak with you in a quiet tone so that when people go by, they do not hear us.
What a great idea, Alejandro! Great!
Yes. It's very important. Now, you need to speak quieter if you want to do this. But I will say that we are in search of something that, up until this point, I have been very secretive about because I did not want to get you involved too early. We are looking for the blood egg. And, have you heard the name before?
No. But it sounds fascinating.
It does sound fascinating, doesn't it? I don't even know what it is. But I'm going for it because it's going to raise my esteem with the thieves. And that's the only reason I do things. Is because I very much value what other people think of me.
That's the most important thing I've heard. Value
that is right. Think. It's what I've taught you from day one. Now, it just so happens that I have encountered a man who is going to tell us the passcode to get into the house that will get us this blood egg.
He's just going to tell us the passcode? We don't even have to do
it. He's asked for a little bit of money that could pay for your food for many weeks, but
how
instead...
How much money? Not a whole gold piece, I hope. That would be too much.
No, of course, it's not a whole gold piece. It's many, many little pieces of metal, not gold.
Oh, good.
But either way, I have it in his bag here. See, I have these all of these small pieces of metal. That is definitely not gold. And you lift this
heavy sack, which is like just massive. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's the sack I dragged all the way here at your insistence. It really
yes, that's right. Yes, see, that is the first. That is the second rule about being a thief. You have to learn to deal with back pain. Sometimes hiding in the shadows can be very uncomfortable. So, once you can become one with the back pain, you can be a pain in the back. I want you to remember that.
Once I deal with the back pain, I can put pain in your back.
No, not quite, but something similar, yes. All right. Whippoorwill.
Yes.
Are you ready to enter this Groose place?
Absolutely. The Golden Groose is all I've ever wanted tonight. Let's go.
Well,
and he runs into the front door.
All right, well, there goes our act of subtlety. And I open the door, and Alejandro walks in. I walk in.
And the tavern is filled with life. You know, there's a large orc at the bar washing down the bar.
Yes, he is. Oh, he's a washing orc. His days of fighting are long over. I can see it in the way he moves his arm. It's rather stiff.
And he's pouring drinks to the patrons at the bar. There's a few tables off to the right that are sort of like booths. You see a few elves sort of talking quietly over bowls of some thick, foul-smelling stew. You see a man with a leather cap sitting next to the fire in the corner, sort of playing five-finger fillet with his knife. And you see a few other people in the bar. The bartender sort of looks to you and says, "What do you two want?" And Whippoorwill runs over and he's like, "We're looking for the blood egg."
Oh dear.
And he looks to you with a big smile.
Come here.
Huh? Yeah?
Come here.
And he walks over. Yes.
Come here.
Yeah.
Closely. Come here. Closer. Come on.
Yes.
You have to be very, very quiet about this blood egg, okay?
Okay. I'm very close.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to pretend to hit you. I'm not actually going to hit you.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I'm going to pretend that you are crazy, full of nonsense. You're just a wild child. All right? That's what I'm going to do. All right? I'm not actually going to hit you, but I want you to go flying anyway. All right? All right? Make it look like, you know. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Blood egg. Well, you're crazy.
Oh! And the young ward sort of like starts walking back. Oh! And he throws himself on the elf table, spilling the soup on them. Oh! And he like takes a cup of it and splashes it in his face. Oh no! And he runs towards the fire, the guy who's playing five-finger fillet, and he throws his body on him. Oh no! And he spills it on the floor and lays out like a starfish in the center as the entire tavern goes quiet watching this boy.
To set the record straight, we are not looking for a blood egg, but if there were anyone here who knew something about that, we would like to speak with them. Because if hypothetically there were that person here, then I would have the money ready to hypothetically get the hypothetical passcode that would let us get that hypothetical blood egg that we are not looking for, obviously. The boy is wild.
And the tavern is quiet for a moment as you see Whips sit up and wink at you and lie back down flat. And then you hear some chairs sort of moving and squeaking, and the elves sort of wipe themselves off, and the murmur continues back in the tavern. And everyone seems to go back to their business, and you see a single hand in the back corner raise up and sort of wave you over.
Is he wearing a hood?
You can't see. The booths are high, and you only see a hand.
Oh, I see. All right. Come, Whip. I believe this is the person we are meeting.
And Whip sits up and jumps up and adjusts his mask, and he's like, "Did I do good, Alejandro?"
You are a fine actor. True natural.
Thank you.
All right. Let us see what this RuPaul has for us in terms of passcodes.
And you head to the back booth, and as you do, the two of you slip into it, and you are now sitting across from a dwarf who is sitting upon a few medieval phone books, which in this world are just, you know, books of
just pictures
of phones.
People talking.
Yeah, like
just pictures of people shouting.
That's it.
Across.
And he's like,
Hello.
"Hey, how do you do?"
Man of the... Pardon me, I was going to make the introduction, but since you already have already.
Listen, you made quite a fucking mistake. You have to make a bigger sound when you enter a goddamn bar. And he looks at the two of you.
I do not know what you mean. We are skilled experts at the art of deception.
You came in, I heard you from back here talking about the blood egg, and then you ran around smashing like a fool into everyone, and then you paled out in the centre of the floor. Now listen here. People everywhere are trying to get in to where you're trying to go, and I'm the only one that has the passcode. So listen here and listen good. Pay me my money, take the passcode, get your blood egg, and end it there. The dwarf says. This dwarf sits, very short, his head barely peeking over the table. He's got a big, thick red beard tied in a braid, and he's wearing sort of a hard metal helmet that's tilted slightly to the side with his thick, bushy orange hair sticking out of it and his eyebrows dancing wildly as he talks.
Whip. Hand over the bag to me.
You had the bag.
Ah, thank you. Take it on. I put it on the table.
Do you give
and
him...
before I do not give it to him. I do not pass it over. I say, before I give you this money, I would like to know, how is it that you, a man of the mountain, came upon this passcode? Do you know things about this place where I'm going to be going?
Listen here. I don't know a thing about what's inside that door. All I know is a bloke paid me very highly to get this information, but he died, and I have it.
Okay. Well then, if you have the information, you have the passcode, and you would not lie to me, right?
I'm not lying to you. He nervously glances over towards the door.
Okay, I believe you. Here is the gold. I pass over the big bag.
Is it $750?
Yeah, $750.
Okay. Yeah. He picks it up and he opens it up and he starts counting it right in front of you. And then eventually he sort of gets the idea that there's nothing there. He's like, all right, now listen here. There's a little bit of extra information for you because you're an honest man. I was nervous that you're going to try to, screw me over.
I would never do such a thing.
As you slide your dagger back into your boot.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know a little extra because you're a good man. The witch is out of the castle for the next few days. If you want to break it, you should do it now. She rarely leaves for longer, but I know without certainty that she's gone right now. Be quick, be smart. And he hands you a piece of paper that says Rec Nam Vivi. RECNAMIVIVI. I'm not going to repeat it. I hope you wrote that down.
I want you to. Well, I have it on a piece of paper, so I'm just going to look at the piece of paper.
And he eats the piece of paper.
No. No. Give me it one more time.
RECNAMIVIVI.
I thank you very much for your information.
You're welcome. But listen wisely. You better ask yourself if it's worth it, because it's not gonna be easy. And he scoops down off the phone booths, puts them under his arm, slaps on the sign that says I sell phone booths, and starts walking out the front of the tavern. Alejandro.
What?
He seems like he's scared. Do we want to be doing this?
That is a good question. I just spent 750 pieces of metal on him. And if we do not go do this, then that will be a waste of that metal.
No, I just got nervous. I'm ready, Alejandro.
I do think, if you are ready, I believe that with your help, with the help of a small child, I should be able to break into this scary, dangerous place that this tough dwarf is scared of.
I like those odds. And with that, you and Whippoorwill exit the tavern and head towards the location that you know is of Voluntia the Vivimancer. That's the round of applause, because you get one.
Thank you.
All right.
Chapter 2. The Manor.
The Tower of Voluntia the Vivimancer perches on a lonely lip of rock jutting from the great cliffs 500 feet above the crashing sea. It is rumored and now known by you and Whippoorwill that the blood egg, a ruby the size of a melon, a priceless artifact, and something that would basically mean that you don't have to pay for anything for the rest of your life, is kept here. The sorceress is away, based on what Rapal has told you, and the secret password you acquired seems to work as you say it at the front door, and it unlocks in front of you. So the tower is basically sitting off the edge of this cliff. So, and you and Whippoorwill sort of ascend this gorgeous cliff over the sea. And as you sort of peek over the edge, you see that it's just like a straight drop, and this thing sits over it.
Right.
And yeah, the door opens, and it's perfectly cylindrical. And as you can see, you stand back, you see that the tower sort of moves up to not a point exactly, but it definitely gets a bit slimmer as it goes up.
Right, okay. So, yeah, all right, like a tower with a wider base at the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite like a cone, but if you chopped off the top of the cone, then you would have something similar to that.
Bingo bango. And Whip looks at you and says, "It looked like it worked, Alejandro. Should we go inside?"
You should, but I want to show you something first.
Show me. Do I need an adult?
So I take out the piece of paper that I wrote the Vivimancer on.
Yeah.
And I read it backwards. Or I spelled the code on. Check this out. There is a Vivimancer who lives here. But the code that I used to get into this house was Vivimancer backwards. You see? You see that?
Alejandro,
That's right.
That's so brilliant. You're so smart.
See, I am very smart. That's why I am the leader and you are the follower.
And I will follow you to the ends of this cliff.
Just this cliff. Not the
Yes.
whole world. That's fine. That's all I need for today. Let us go into the Tower of Voluntia the Vivimancer. You take the first step.
And Whip sort of nervously looks at you and is like, okay. And he walks in to a round room. And in this room are 8 shelves, all stacked, sort of in a circle with about, maybe 5 to 10 feet apart. And they each sort of, almost like a clock face, they each sit in a circle. Below you is a large rectangular red rug. And in the center of the room, there looks to be sort of a glass enclosure, and it's round, and it sits right in the center of the room. It's relatively big, maybe 5 feet across.
What is lighting the room right now?
There are wall sconces all around. But it doesn't look like they are fire necessarily. There's sort of this ominous amber glow to the room.
Right. They are lit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Whip. Now we need to activate our stealth here. All right. We don't want to be going around shouting about blood eggs. Now that we're... Oh, sorry. I dropped something.
No, you're right. I've learned my lesson. The way they looked
We
at me
need
in
to
that
be
bar,
quiet.
it made me feel quite pickly.
Pickly.
Yes, pickly.
I don't know how that applies to this emotion. But either way, you know what I mean. So let us be quiet and let's have a look around. And first I'm going to approach the glass case in the center of the room. No, actually first, I'm going to look at this rug.
Yeah. So why don't you
big
give me
red rectangular rug.
You rolled up your character sheet, obviously, right?
See.
So why don't you give me an intelligence roll?
Intelligence. No, now there is a skill called awareness, but I do not have it. So I feel like
perfect.
that's what I'd be rolling.
Oh, you don't have awareness?
I do not have awareness. No.
Oh.
Well, actually, I do have awareness instead of what I had before.
You didn't take it, or you're going to take it now?
I took something that I don't think is very useful right now.
Okay. Take awareness.
Well, I keep it as awareness. It was between awareness and deception.
Yeah,
But
I think awareness is make more sense.
Yeah. All right.
So you can't miss.
Roll 2d6, right?
Correct. Yeah, but if you have basically a roll of 6 or less is a partial success. 7 to 9 is going to be better.
Then add attribute scores. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a skill,
if you have applicable skills.
Yeah,
so I can't miss.
Yeah, but anything above a 6 is a full success. Anything below it is a partial. So you can get good either way.
Perfect. All right, here we go. All right, so I got the partial success.
Okay. Yeah, so you take a look at this at the floor, and you see a fine red carpet under the terrarium. Yeah, you don't notice anything odd about it.
I'm just checking for traps here. All right, I'm very good at perceiving. But now that I know that there is no trap, I feel very comfortable stepping on the rug.
Yeah. Okay,
Whip, why don't you take a step onto the rug?
And Whip does, and he's like, all right, Alejandro. And he steps onto the rug, and you hear a click. And he lifts up his foot, and you hear a click. And he's like, there's something clicking under this rug. And he pulls it back to see just a loose stone. And he sort of fiddles with it and puts it back down and walks across. He's like, it's totally fine. And for sake of, because Alejandro's a person too, I'll let him do an awareness roll as well. He doesn't have awareness, mind you, but he'll do
I am Alejandro. He is not Alejandro yet.
Sorry. Yeah,
he is
Whip. He doesn't even see anything. Whip. This is a very nice rug. Maybe we should take this. Maybe we don't even need the blood egg. Maybe we should just take this.
No. The third rule of being a thief is to not get distracted. You will come here with a purpose and a focus, and you must concentrate on that goal, the singular goal that you came for. Don't get distracted by other shiny things or women. No, we came for one thing, and that is the blood egg. See?
Success. See.
It's a very simple word. All right, here we go. I'm going to look at this case. Careful.
Okay. Yeah, so as you approach the center, you see this large, round, circular glass terrarium standing on stilts, basically. There's about 6 to 8 legs holding it maybe 3 feet off the ground. And on top of this terrarium is a cage of sorts. And as you sort of look into the cage, you think you see some movement. Why don't you give me another awareness roll?
All right. I'll do this. I will do better than the first time. I hope. There we go. That is a
5. Still 5. A partial success.
Plus intelligence, so 1. So 6.
Oh, yeah.
Or wisdom. I don't know what.
6 or higher. Okay. So that's a full success then, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Yeah, if you can't miss. A roll is 6 or less. Oh, yeah, no. So it's still a partial success. But you do notice that within the terrarium is a snake. It's a large, thick snake. And it does not look very friendly. From your vantage point here, you notice that between the bookshelves, or between the shelves, I should say, on either side of the room, opposite the door you came in, or sorry, not opposite, but, well, you notice a few things. I should say this. From the terrarium that you're standing at, you notice that there is a door opposite the door that you came in. So on the other side of the room, there is another door identical to this one. And on either side of those, meaning perpendicular, On the
Right,
other
there's
two,
like a door to the north, south, east, and west in this room.
no, there's a door opposite the door you came in, and the other two spots there are levers.
I see. All right.
But how would you describe that? Like at the
door
I will
to
say
the
this,
north
at the,
and the
at
south
the 12
and the
o'clock
door
and the
and-
6 o'clock there are doors, and at the 9
Yes.
o'clock and the 3 o'clock there are levers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I picture it that way too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I look for any mechanisms, anything in the room that looks like it could operate from these levers.
Doesn't look to be, but you can go over and
No.
inspect.
I'm going to go over and check the lever to the 9 o'clock, the one to my left.
Okay. And while you're doing that, Whip is going to take another look at this terrarium. He's just sort of enamored by this creature within.
You be careful, Whip. That snake is not friendly.
Of course, of course. Oh, God, with the 2. He's doing terribly. He's like, I think it is friendly. And he's like, faces right up against it as he goes, and he stumbles back. Yeah, so you walk up to the one, to your left, you said?
See, yes.
Okay.
The one, if I walked in at 6 o'clock and the other door is at 12, I walked to the 9 o'clock.
The door you walked in is at 6 o'clock.
See, yeah, so I
you're
went to
going
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Perfect. Yep. So you approach a brass lever that is in the ground, and it's currently pointed towards the wall, and it is between 2 shelves. And as you look at the shelves, you see that there are odd things in them. You can't quite make out without sort of approaching, but it looks like all these jars have bizarre oddities in them. But yeah, no, this lever is pointed towards the wall.
I'm going to take a look at these jars. They're catching my eye.
Yeah, give me another awareness.
Awareness. Where is that? There we go. There we go. That's a 9 plus 1. So that is a 10.
Okay, so you notice a few things. You notice that these curios are pickled and they're in glass jars, and they line steel shelves. All of these shelves, in fact, are steel. You see a few odd things. You see human eyes, newt skin, horse ears, rat lips, hyena bladders, miscellaneous tongues. Did you want to grab a jar?
Interesting. I do not think I wanted to grab any of these jars. No.
No?
Well, why would I grab it? I have no reason to pick it up.
Well, if you give me a knowledge roll, maybe.
Okay. I will do a knowledge roll. Because perhaps there is more to this than meets the eye. I mean, a Vivimancer. I do not know what a Vivimancer is, but in Italian, which I am not, vivace means lively, and perhaps a Vivimancer is someone who brings life to dead things. And that is why there are so many body parts around here to bring them back to life in a Frankenstein sort of way. So, knowledge roll.
Perfect. Give me a knowledge roll.
Here we go. That is a very good roll. That is
Very good.
That is a masterful success.
So you can tell there are a few things in here. Some of these look like they would give you some health if they were eaten. Some look like they would poison you if eaten. And some of these, your thieves' eyes recognize as very, very valuable.
All right. So I take all the ones that will heal me.
Well,
I
you
take
have
all
to
the
roll,
ones that are valuable.
No, you have to roll 3d6 for a jar. I don't really know how that works, though. But give me a 3d6 roll and we'll see what happens.
All right. I roll it. Okay, that is a 10.
10.
Plus, I don't know if I'm rolling anything.
Roll 3d6 a jar. So 10. And it's only got 1 to 6. I don't really know what it means by this. But let's just say... Oh, maybe you take three jars. What were they each? What were each of your numbers?
Oh, what the numbers that I rolled?
Yeah.
I rolled a 3, I rolled a
5, and
5.
2. Okay, so you get a jar of horse ears. You get a jar of hyena bladder. And you said 2?
Yes.
And you get a jar of newt skin.
Good. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Now, I
Now,
will say the only thing that you feel safe in touching, or keeping, I should say, are the horse ears, and you know that they're worth a bit of money. However, as you approach the shelf, do you have any metal on you?
I gave all my money away, but I do have my saber. Yes, I have a rapier.
As you reach forward, your rapier touches the shelf just a little bit, and it sticks. Doom.
Oh dear. I tried to pull it off.
Give me a strength roll.
Oh, all right. I'll do what I can. All right, I got a 10.
Perfect. Yeah, so you give it a tough pry, and it does come off eventually. But you notice that even when you're picking up the jars, at the bottom of them were pretty heavy, and this entire shelf, as well as what you can tell of the other ones, seems magnified. And you hear a voice from Whip as he's like tapping the glass. Like, Alejandro, is everything all right over there? I heard you grunting and moaning.
Yes, I have realized that these metal cabinets here are magnetized, but I also got these sweet jars, and I have an idea. I'd like to try something.
Yes.
All right, so I have these horse ears. I'm going to keep these, but I'm going to take one last look at this terrarium, see if there's anything. And you take another look at it, too. I see that you are very interested. I feel like there's something important that we're missing here.
Yeah, so he actually was staring at it for a long time. And as you approach back to the terrarium, he says, actually, Alejandro, I think I found something. And he sort of gets down on his hands and knees on the fine red carpet, and he sort of touches it around the terrarium, and he follows this sort of seam out to the side, and at the edge of the carpet he peels it back, and he sort of points to a trap door. There's a trap door under here.
Ah, very well done, Whip. Maybe that will be our way out of here, rather than going through that door over there. Well, doesn't look like the snake is going anywhere any soon. I think we're good to check out this trap door. Why don't you go ahead and open it? You've earned it.
I get to go in the trap door myself?
You get to go in before me, yes. See?
All right. And he peels back the trap door and opens it up. And there's this wooden rung ladder leading down into the dark. And there's sort of this wafting smell of sewage coming from the trapdoor.
It does not smell very good. Must be their septic tank or something.
Should we go down?
Yes, definitely we should. I'll lead the way. You've done enough good work for one day. And I start making my way down.
Okay, I'll follow. He follows, sorry?
Sure, yeah, I will lead.
Okay. So you climb down and you sort of step in this grimy, dark, damp little cellar. And as you reach the bottom, there's about 3 feet of sewage in this shaft that sort of continues in the center of this, under this tower. And it's dark, but at the end, you see that it looks pretty light.
Rule number 4 of being a thief. Whip. Oh, careful. There's a big turd right there. Rule number 4 is not to be afraid to get stinky. Sometimes, some of the best heists of my life have come from not being afraid to cover myself in shit and walk through the sewers. It often leads to valuables.
Okay, well, I'll take your lead and your word for it.
All right, let us venture ahead. And I start walking.
So as you
So
walk
it's light down here?
It's dark, and at the end of the hall, it gets dark. So you're sort of trudging through the sludge as you start hearing this sort of whistling. And as you get to the end of this tunnel, life starts bathing, and you notice that this actually drains out into the open air above the sea. And as you reach the end of it, you lean over and you see a straight drop down to the ocean 500 feet below.
Want to go for a... Ah, never mind. It was a dumb joke to begin with. All right, well, I guess that's the only way that we can go. It's like barred off, right?
No, you can like exit into the ocean.
We could jump out that way.
Yeah, if you want to jump.
Nah, I do not think that's a good idea.
That's the only way out, though. There's no other like detours in the Seward.
No, it's just like a single shaft.
Okay, this is good to know. All right, now we know that the worst comes to the worst. We need to throw somebody out of this place. This is the place that we go. Let us go back upstairs now that we're covered in shit.
Oh, all right. And he turns around and hurriedly climbs up the shaft to the trapdoor. And as the two of you leave, he sort of slams it shut and throws the rug back on and turns towards you. What now, Alejandro?
Well, it's a good thing that we found that trapdoor. But now, I think it's time that we do some experimentation. Are you ready?
Always ready, Alejandro.
All right, go pull that lever over there. I'm going to stand back here, out of the way.
The one at 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
I want them to pull the one at 9 o'clock.
Okay. So he runs over to the one at 9 o'clock and looks towards you. And he's like, are you sure?
Okay, why don't I pull this one first? I walk over to 6 o'clock or the 3 o'clock, and I pull that one.
Okay. So as you pull the lever, two things happen. First and foremost, you hear sort of this humming stop. And then the ceiling starts falling really fast, like 2 feet a second. Like,
okay. All right, I think that it's...
And I try to push it back into position.
Yeah, and the ceiling stops and then starts climbing back up.
This is good. Yes. Okay. Why don't you try yours?
And he does, and the same thing happens. He throws it, you hear the humming stop.
All right, and I throw mine.
And then the humming stops, and the ceiling does not lower.
The humming, did that sound familiar? Did it sound like the water rushing out into the ocean, or was it something else?
No, it sounded like... And Whip turns to the shelf, and he picks up a jar. These were magnetized before, weren't they?
Ah, yes, they were. Okay. So now we have access to all of the jars on the shelf. What do you think that we should do?
And Whip looks at you and he's like, I don't know.
Well, this is a test. I'm testing you. I, of course, know the answer. But you, young Whip, it is you who is going to be working us through this.
I know the answer to this. We'll turn it back on.
Why is that?
Well, because if she returns, everything has to be as it was.
I do not care about that. We'll be long gone by the time we get to Bloody and leave. See?
I don't know that.
I'm going to go check this door over here. Perhaps it is open now. Perhaps it was never open. Perhaps it was... I don't know what I'm saying. I go over and I try to open the door.
Yeah, so the door at 12 o'clock is open. There's actually no door on it. It's just an open archway with a set of stone steps leading up to the next level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. So,
all right. Well, I suppose that this room is done. Let us go up these stairs and get closer to the blood egg.
So you left the magnet off.
See.
Okay, perfect. So you head up the stone steps to the second level, and Whip sort of nervously comes up behind you, and he tugs at your cape. I picture us wearing capes for some reason.
Of course, yes.
Alejandro, is this safe? I'm a bit scared. This witch seems like she has a weird tower.
Well, first of all, you're a child. Children tend to be scared more often than adults. I've been in my fair share of strange towers, and to be perfectly honest, I mean, yes, there were some body parts, but they were at least animal body parts, not human body parts. So I don't think that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And as
I've
you're
definitely
talking,
been in worse.
you reach the top of the steps, and again, it's an open archway as you look into the second room, and Whip's face drops as you see 4 skeletons hanging from chains above a 10-foot pool of green liquid. So this room, again, is perfectly round. On the left side of the room, again, if you're entering at 6 o'clock, at the 9 o'clock position, you see 4 levers and a large wheel that has 4 chains on it that extend to the 4 skeletons that are hanging at various positions from the roof. One hangs by his hands, one hangs by his neck, one hangs by his foot, one is hanging by his back, and his arms are bound behind his back. And they're each extended over a large 10-foot across, more like 20, 30 feet across pool of green liquid with a spout that is pouring this liquid out into this pool from the far side. And opposite this entryway is another entryway on the other side.
I'm going to look around the room, see if there's anything that could indicate what I'm supposed to do next. All right, that's a 6.
Okay, so that is, just a regular,
partial
but
success.
It's still success. So, you notice a few things. First and foremost, you notice there is a big, beautiful emerald wedged in the drain among the grit. So again, it's sort of within the liquid. You also notice that the skeletons that are hanging from the ceiling have some things in them.
Yeah,
things.
things.
Give me a 1d6.
1d6.
Yeah, so give
all
me,
right, so 3d6.
4d6.
4d6. All right.
Yeah.
I got a 6, a 5, a 1, and a 3.
A 6, a 5, a 1, and a 3. You read that in a weird way. 6, 5, 1, and 3. Okay, perfect. So 2 of the skeletons have nothing. You sort of examine them from below, and you see that they're devoid of anything important. However, you see that one of them is sporting a big, beautiful gold tooth, and the other one, the other one has a gold ring on a finger stub.
A gold ring on a finger stub, eh?
And Whip sort of looks at the skeletons and says, "Oh, we need to get these. This is why we're here. You said the first rule of thieving is to get as much gold and loot as we can whenever we rob a place. We don't want to come back."
No. That is not what I said. The first rule is to learn to whisper. The second rule is to stay focused. All right? Now, you need to focus. Now, my goal is to get the blood egg. That's what it is. I keep on wanting to say diamond, but I know that's not right. I want to get the blood egg, but if you want to make this your goal, then this will be your challenge. You will need to get this gold ring somehow. Now, how do you suppose you do that? Eh?
Well, and he sort of looks for a second. Well, it looks like those cranks in the corner control the skeletons. Maybe if we lower one down. And
I think you're onto something.
Maybe you can reach over and pull one across.
It is a good idea. All right. Which one should do you think that we should lower down? Eh? Which one first?
That one has a gold tooth, but that one has a gold ring.
See.
Also, and he points into the pool of liquid, there's an emerald down there as well.
See. Yes. Another gem Worth money, see, but not really going to be getting us the same esteem as a blood egg. But again, if you want to make that your goal, then you are welcome to. But if I may offer a word of advice. What do you think happened in here? My advice comes in the form of a question. What do you think happened with these 4 people who are tied up on chains hanging above a pit filled with green liquid?
They were tortured.
Perhaps they were. But how do you think they ended up without any flesh on their bones?
They were tortured without the bone flesh. They were flesh. I don't know. What? How?
The way I see it, this pool isn't something I want to go swimming around in together, even if there is an emerald that I could be getting.
And I take a piece of jerky that I've got in my pack, and I toss it into the pool.
Yeah, and it sizzles as Whip sort of stands back. Oh, it's acid.
See? It is acid. So, if you want to get that emerald, the first thing, you are going to have to figure out how to stop that spout from spewing more acid into it. But also, you're going to have to figure out how to clog the drain so that you can get that emerald without burning yourself.
And Whip sort of walks to the corner. He's like, I have no idea. I can't do it. And he sits down defeated.
Well, then you're not going to be a very good thief if you give up halfway through, eh?
I don't know, Alejandro. I just wanted to impress you. You're my idol. Ever since Mummy showed me a picture of you, I've wanted to impress you, but I don't know. You're the expert. Why don't you show me how to do it?
Ah. All right, I will show you this once. But if you pay attention, then you will be able to do it next time. See? That is, the next time that you find yourself in a room with 4 skeletons hanging over a pit full of acid, you will know how to handle that situation.
Show me how it's done.
See?
And I walk over to the spout, and I turn off the nozzle. Is there a way to do that?
No.
I should have guessed it wouldn't be so easy. Okay, it's no problem.
And so I'm going to look under as the spout follows the out. Is there any plumbing or anything like that?
No, so the spout sticks out of the stone wall of this vat that's in the ground again. Maybe 6 inches, and it's just a pipe, and then it drips out of that pipe into the pool, maybe 2 inches above the surface of the water or of the acid.
Perfect. And now I'm going to go over to the winch of one of the skeletons, not the one that has a gold ringer, one of the ones that's just blank. They don't have anything. And I'm going to lower them down into the acid.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you pull one of the levers, and it starts lowering it, and you just continue down.
I keep going down, and I want to see what happens when the toe touches the liquid, because the acid burned all of the flesh off of their bodies, but it did not burn the skeleton. So I'm wondering if the bones are immune to the poison. Or
yeah, so as you lower it, the bones, one of the skeletons dips into the water and continues down. And as you touch the bottom of the pool, I guess it's 10 feet deep is what it's saying. As it touches the bottom of the pool, the chain falls loose from the winch and into the water.
Right, that makes sense. So the bones are fine. Also, this is a lot deeper than I thought.
I guess that's what it means. It says effervescent green acid gouts from a pipe into a 10-foot pool. It's definitely not 10 feet across though. Because the doorways are this big and the pool's this big, so I don't.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna guess 10 foot.
Okay. Well, it turns out that this pool is much deeper than I thought it was just at first glance. So I don't think I'm going to be able to help you get that emerald. But I do think I might be able to help you get the ring.
And so I slowly lower down the one with the tooth just to get a sense of it.
Okay.
And I stop it before the torso gun goes under.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I take my rapier and I lean over and I pull the chain back towards me.
Okay, give me a roll, dexterity or something, because it's a bit of a lean out.
I'll do dexterity. I say an 11.
Yeah, success. So yeah, you lean out, you pull it back to your side without too much issue.
Yeah, and I pull out the tooth,
Yeah.
and I flick it to whip. I say, "There you go.
And it would
Buy
fetch
yourself
about,
a loaf of bread."
It would fetch about 5 gold pieces. Thank you, and he puts them in his pocket.
All right, now for the ring, we're going to do the same thing. And so I'm going to, I'm going to do the same thing with the one with the ring. I got to lower at a certain point.
Yeah.
Oh no, not quite as low because the arm would go in.
Bingo, bango.
Bango,
right,
bango,
so,
bongo. I don't want to leave the
you
Congo.
Lower it down. You do the same thing. Give me another roll.
Oh, very
Nice.
good roll. That is
So,
a
yeah.
14.
You pull it over and you grab the gold ring off the finger stub of the skeleton and let it go, and the skeleton swings back. You now have a gold ring.
And now I have a gold ring. No, I'm just wondering. I'm looking at that emerald. Oh, and I passed the ring over to Whip.
Do you tell him to put it on?
He probably would. Without me even.
No, whip is a good word. He doesn't do nothing unless you tell him.
Hey, Whip.
Yes.
That ring I just gave you.
Yes.
I wonder what would happen if you put it on.
Do you want me to?
Hold on. 1 minute. Pass it back.
And he throws it back.
There are some items in this world that aren't exactly what they seem. Sometimes a gold ring like this is just a gold ring. But sometimes...
It's one ring to rule them all.
Who said that? Hello?
You gonna give me a roll for it?
I'll give it a roll, yes. I believe that would be lore. Or wisdom, intellect.
Lore makes sense.
I do not have it anyway. All right, that's a 7.
Oh, so success?
Partial success. Because I don't have it.
You can tell this ring is cursed. You don't know what it does, but it's definitely cursed.
All right. So, here's what you do with a cursed
Here,
ring.
Whip, put it back on.
Whip, it is cursed, all right? I do not recommend that you put this on. In fact, I highly advise that you do not put this on because curses can be very, very bad. But the merchant that you sell it to does not need to know that it's cursed. In fact, many merchants don't know when the ring is cursed. In fact, many merchants will still buy rings even if they are cursed, and then they'll get them uncursed at an enchantress. So, all I'm saying is that you take this ring and you sell it as a gold ring. And then you make money.
Thank you. And he sort of nervously takes it up and puts it in his satchel, and he turns to the gateway leaving and says, I think we should leave this room. It makes me nervous. Should we go upstairs?
Yeah, I think it is time. I am sorry that I could not get you that emerald in the bottom, but
that's all right.
I do not want to be a skeleton today.
I want to get out of this place, he says sort of nervously, and begins walking up the stairs to the next floor.
I will follow in your footsteps.
Perfect. And as you reach the top floor, you see a rather wide room. This is the top floor. It's only a 3-story tower. Above you, in the center of this ceiling, is a 10-foot wide skylight. So, the ceiling across is maybe 100 feet. So it's a relatively small skylight. There are 6 stained glass windows around this top level of this tower. In the, let's say, 9 o'clock position, maybe 10 o'clock position, there is a stone statue with 4 faceless heads and 4 arms. Its 4 hands grasp the blood egg. On the opposite side of this, you see a crate, which looks like it has an insignia on it. You also see a mahogany chair and a table set, a wardrobe that has some masks on it. And on your maybe 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, next to the door almost, there is a hammock of woven hemp fixed to the wall just next to the door. And let's pause there for the mid-game post.
Mid-game post!
Because I really need to pee.
Oh, you gotta pee?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna be taking over the stream.
Just for a minute. I'll be
What? Just for a minute.
Oof.
Just depending on how long it takes for him to pee. Harlan is a notoriously long peer, if you know what I mean. Oh. Well, that's right, everybody. It's time for the mid-game post. The time where we ask you guys a question, somehow related to the game, and you answer it. And anybody who gets the answer right is going to be entered in a draw, which we will roll for. And yeah, so yada, yada, yada. Let us do the mid-game post. Oh, actually, you know what? I should wait for Harlan. He's the GM. If I was the GM, I would probably just ask the question. Like, what does Alejandro live for? Actually, fun fact, Alejandro is actually Zorro in the movie. It's actually Zorro's name. Not the Anthony Hopkins Zorro, but the Antonio Banderas Zorro. Yeah. Bjorn asks if the P has a long way to travel. Yes, actually. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It is hard for tall guys to pee with good aim. I think Harlan's probably better at it than I am, but it's like we've got so much further to go. But maybe it's just a few inches, but it's still a long way, and sometimes it just doesn't go where you want it to, just in that 3-inch, distance. So nobody's going to be inviting me to their house after this. I'm talking about how tall people, for tall people, it's harder to have good aim while you stand and pee than short people.
I think that's totally true.
I think it is.
Very true.
Yep.
So what should we do for the mid-game question? Let's say, what was the name of the tavern that they met at the beginning?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, Alan, I've got to go pee as well, so you take over from here.
You do you.
All this pee talk has got my bladder clenching up.
Bring back some popcorn for me. He didn't hear me. How is he supposed to hear me if he can't hear me? How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're having a good time. This game I was really excited for. It's a shame that Joe couldn't join us because I think it would work much better with 2 people. But I think Justin's doing a great job. If he's not, making the ward do all the dirty business. But anyway, so for the mid-game post, it's below this on the Discord chat. And I have asked you, what was the name of the tap house or the tavern that they first met at? What was name tavern? Question mark? Smiley face? Because I don't need to write down all the fucking thing. Oh, someone posted in the wrong one. That's my fault. Langdon, it's the one directly below the Bartizan of the Blood Egg. I'm going to actually delete this other channel so that we don't mix it up. And it looks like someone has already commented. Hey, I got someone commented. Colin Burke. Colin Burke has got the right answer. He's got the right answer. He's got the right answer. He's got the right answer. Got the right answer. It's difficult because, a lot of people could just take the right answer from the person who's got the right answer. This is going to be a really cool game. Well, I should say, hopefully it has been so far. But this is sort of where everything flips. This is where it gets really fun. So it's been very standard up to this point. And if you haven't cheated and read what's going on yet, then you're gonna have, it's gonna be interesting going back to the bottom of the tavern. Anyway, these one-page dungeons are great. I was really excited. I'm really excited to play these. They're really good inspiration, and they're really good motivation to like do more fantasy type stuff, which is always nice. Because I don't know fantasy very well. I'm more the 1920s Cthulhu type person, as we all know. The roaring 20s. The roaring... How's everybody doing? What's everybody doing this weekend? Anything fun? Everyone got good Christmas plans? Yeah, that's nice. I'm not. No, I got some great Christmas plans. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing for dinner. We're going to do a turkey. Joe doesn't like... She is a pescatarian, which means she does not eat meat, but she's allowed me. That sounds funny. But she's happy to support me in my traditions of having like turkey. So my boy and I are gonna have turkey, and she's gonna make some bomb ass sides, as I am too, to go along with the turkey dinner. Maybe some salmon in there too, because it's delicious. Some mushroom gravy, so you can put the gravy on everything. It's always fun. I had an energy drink, now I have too much energy. They should only make half drinks. I've been playing a lot of video games, guys. I don't know anything to talk about right now. What was I playing? I've been watching a lot of Zelda, Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, Loria. I forgot. Loria is this really cool old school 2D Warcraft type RTS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that I've been really enjoying. Anyway, this will be
big?
a short
Is it a big game?
What's that?
Oh, is it a big game, Loria?
It's like the original Warcraft, where it's like 16 missions, 8 from one faction and 8 from the other. And I'm on the last mission of the human faction, and it's tough because it's like Warcraft, right? It's like Warcraft was a tough game. It was funny because after playing a bit of Loria, Joe was watching and she was kind of like, "Oh, you should download Warcraft and we should play some Warcraft." I was like, "Yeah." So I started playing Beyond the Dark Portal. Fucking got to the second level on the human campaign, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, "Oh my god! Like, how did I play this as a kid? Like, it's so tough." Yeah, and they're so good. The like computer is just crazy.
The AI. Yeah, because they're fast. Like I play Red Alert.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know. As a kid, it wasn't as hard as it is now. It seems. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just so fast because the AI can just it can do the micro so quickly.
Yeah.
You know.
So true. Speaking of Colin, I did play Smash Bros. Joe and I and Henry went to our friend Andrew's birthday party on Sunday, and he had a Smash Bros party. I'm happy to say I played 3 games, 2 of which I won, crazily, because I'm not very good. Joe played maybe 3 games and won like all 3. She's actually very good at Smash Bros. But mostly Henry just spilled beer everywhere. Twice. He like walked over, he was reaching for cucumbers because they had like vegetables, and he like reached over and the beer went, and then he's like, uh-oh, and like everyone's like, oh. He was the life of the party. Everyone was, well, you know him.
Oh, sure.
He was like shy for like a minute, and then I went down and everyone was like super eager to like see him. You know, like they didn't know, they never met him before, so they were just kind of like, oh, who's this, and he was like, hi. It was pretty fucking adorable. Anyway, so that was this weekend. But yeah, I did play Smash Bros. So well done. Lots of video game stuff. Anyway, that is enough for that. Sweet. Let's get back to the game. The mid-game post winner is going to be, we have 3 correct answers. Let's do a 1d6 divided by 2. Drum roll me's. That means Chris Sparks, the Golden Grouse.
The Golden Grouse.
I'm gonna give it to Golden Grouse because I said it wrong, but it is the Golden Grouse. Additionally, I made up the name, so I should know. So well done, Chris. You win. And without further ado, let us return to the game known as Bartizan of the Blood Egg. So again, You and your young ward arrive on the top level of this tower. There is a 10-foot skylight in the ceiling. 6 stained glass windows depicting evolutionary scenes surround you. There is a stone statue at your 9, say 10 o'clock with 4 faceless heads and 4 arms. 4 hands grasp the blood egg. On the opposite of that, I would say at 3 o'clock, there is a crate, as well as a mahogany chair and table set and a wardrobe that has 4 masks on it. Right next to the door at your 7 o'clock is a hammock of woven hemp fixed to the wall. Yeah, Whip looks at you. Alejandro, this is it. That's the egg.
Yes, it is. But it is not so simple as to just walk up and grab it. No. That statue was made by a sculptor for the specific purpose to hold that egg. And I would guess that there is an enchantment in that sculpture as well. Because why would a Vivimancer take such troubles to keep an egg and have very few traps or things to stop anyone from taking it along the way? I feel that we need to look into this before we can just walk up and take it.
Okay, where do you want me to look?
I want you to look at that crate over there. See if you can find anything. Be careful. It might be trapped.
Okay. And he walks over to the crate.
Where
are you going to go?
I'm going to take a close look at this statue. I'm not going to touch anything.
Ooh, so Whip gets a 10 at the crate. So he shouts across from you and he says, Alejandro, the crate has a spider icon on it. And he opens it up and he says, and inside is a burlap sacks, a few of them, and he holds up, and a dusty cashew.
What is in the burlap sack?
And he opens it up. Nothing, they're empty.
Okay, good to know. Take a look at the statue. What do I see?
Okay, so the statue again has 4 faceless heads, 4 arms, but you notice, looking at it, there is a inscription on it. It says Quadrilopithecus.
Quadrilopithecus. Quadrilopithecus. All right, and they're faceless heads. So all 4 arms are holding onto this egg, right?
Yep.
And so it'd be difficult to pull the egg out from the arms, right?
Most definitely.
Because they're all just holding onto it. All right. So I'm going to walk over to their masks and I say, okay, Whip, I want you to look at that hammock. Perhaps there is something over there. A note, perhaps, or a diary. And I'm going to look at these masks here.
Perfect. So he walks over to the burlap, to the hammock, and he starts looking at it. You look at the mask. There are 4 masks staring back at you on the wardrobe. There is an amber ape, a lapis bird, a jade lizard, and a coral shrimp.
Amber, ape, lapis, bird, coral shrimp, and what was the third one?
That was the last one. So it's amber ape, a lapis bird, a jade lizard, and a coral shrimp.
Jade lizard.
Yeah.
Perfect. Were they arranged in a deliberate way, or are they just kind of placed on the table?
No, they are. They're in order of how I read them.
They are
the amber ape, the lapis bird, the jade lizard, the coral shrimp.
Okay. I look back at the statue. Quadrilopithecus. Or quadrilopithecus?
Quadrilopithecus.
Quadrilopithecus. No. What do you see over there at the hammock?
So he turns back to you and says, it just looks like a regular hammock. Woven hemp fixed to the wall. I don't see anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, good. I take a look at the stained glass windows.
Yeah, okay.
Are they depicting any pictures?
Yes, they have evolutionary scenes. You see a fish crawling from the sea, a Neanderthal. That's about it. Doesn't seem to be in any sort of order.
Hmm. So there is a... Oh, okay. Great. So I'm going to go over to the table. I'm going to say, Whip, I'm going to try something. All right.
Sure. And as you look at the table, again, you see mahogany chair and table set next to the wardrobe.
Oh, yeah. I'll check out the mahogany chair and table set as well.
It's normal. Just looks like a writing desk.
It's normal. Okay. Whip. Rule 5 of being a thief. Never touch something with your bare hands.
And I walk over to the crate,
Mm-hmm.
and I reach in and I grab the sack,
Okay.
the burlap sack.
Yeah.
I put it over. Oops! I put it over my hands,
Mm-hmm.
and I walk back over to the mahogany table with the masks on it. Is that right?
No, they're on the wardrobe.
They're on the wardrobe. Okay, so I grab the shrimp mask,
Mm-hmm.
and I bring it over, and I place it onto the statue.
And as you do, one of the granite hands moves away from the jewel.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So then, I walk back over the table with the burlap sack over my hand, and I grab the lizard mask,
Yeah.
and I put it onto the statue.
And again, now only 2 hands hold the blood egg.
Okay. And then I'm going to take the bird mask. I'm going to place it onto another face.
And again, only 1 hand remains on the blood egg.
Okay. And if there's only 1 hand, then it should be easy enough to take off. Is that right?
You can try it.
No. Where is it holding it?
He's holding it at its base.
On his base. Okay. No. That is not how these things go. Whip. I need you to come here.
Yes, I'm here. And he runs over excitedly.
I'm going to place the last mask onto this statue. I want you to be there, holding your hands underneath, because when he moves his hand, there is a chance that the egg will fall off his hand, and I do not want it to crack on the floor. All right?
Okay. All right.
I'm
excited.
Hey.
This is it.
Okay.
We're almost
All right,
ready.
you get your hands ready. See? Oh, no. Here, you take this.
And I give him the burlap sack.
Okay. And he holds the sack open.
You hold it open. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take my mask and I'm going to put it in my hands like I had with the burlap sack. And then I'm going to walk over and grab the last mask and put it on the statue with Whip ready with the bag.
Perfect. So, as you place the mask on the statue, you hear a grinding. But rather than the hand opening, you see the fingers tighten on the egg. And the grinding now echoes around you, and the tower begins to shake violently. And in an instant, the entire tower flips upside down. All of the furniture come crashing down to the floor now below you. The 10-foot skylight is now sitting in the center of the room. The inverted tower now dangles from the overhanging lip of the cliff. The furniture crashes to the ground around you, but does not break. And as you and Whip land with a thud on the 30-foot floor, which was once the ceiling, you each take damage. Let's both do a 1d4. And you notice that the statue grinds to life. And he jumps down on the floor with us, standing right next to the 10-foot hole.
Yeah, shit. I fucked up.
This is really cool. So just to show you. So this is the map. I don't want to give too much away, but this is the map. And then when you reach this point in the game, it flips. So it's like an upside down drawing. So now
Cool.
the hole in the ceiling is the hole in the floor. And everything we've just done, you have to remember, but everything sort of changes moving up. It's actually a really cool map.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the text is now upside down for the second half as you work back through the rooms. So, how much damage did you take?
How much do I need to? 1d4?
1, yeah. 1d4.
I took 1 point of damage.
Nice. And the ward takes 1 point of damage as well. And you both come crashing down. Alejandro, what happened?
It's all right. Keep your wits about you. This thing does not want to let us go with our lives.
The Quadrolopithecus wields the ruby like a bludgeon as he walks across the floor to you. And, yeah, I'm going to give you attack of opportunity because he's sort of just grinding to life.
Perfect. Whip, I need you to distract it.
What? Okay. And I'm going to
Run around, quickly.
Yeah.
And I will find a spot to hide.
He'll roll charisma, which is his only strength. He has a +2 in it. So 5, 6, 7. So yeah, he succeeds at distracting him.
Perfect.
Poorly, I think, right? So partial success. So he does do a cost. So he does distract him temporarily. And the creature turns around and faces Whip as Whip runs around the circle in the center of the room.
So I'm going to go and conceal myself behind the fallen wardrobe.
Okay.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to do a stealth so that I'm concealed.
Perfect. Yeah, give me a stealth roll.
All right, so that is an 8 plus 3, so 11. And I have stealth as a skill, so.
Excellent. So yeah, you succeed at
success.
being hid. So
Perfect.
that was your attack of opportunity. Whip is running around, and the creature catches him and picks him up. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so this creature picks him up above his head and holds him sort of in one hand and smacks him with the ruby, and Whip goes flying across the floor, so close to like the 10-foot gap that his like hand sort of falls down, and he's sort of almost knocked out as he just wails him. As you're hit.
Okay. Ouch. I was hoping that he would not get caught. And so from my
young boy, distract the giant.
He's young. He's nimble. So I pull out my bow and I fire.
Yeah,
and I'm going to, and so yeah. So I have to hit first. So I will roll.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a 12.
Yeah, it does nothing. You see the arrow hit the creature and just shatter.
Now, what if I said I was aiming for one of the masks?
Yeah, you could do that. It does the same though. I mean, the masks are all they were jade. What were they made of? Amber, lapis, jade, coral. Well,
right,
coral. But yeah, no, they don't.
Nah, coral's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Do you want to do
I
anything
do
else?
not know what to do. Can I do anything on my turn?
I'll let you do another thing if you want.
Okay. I'm going to run over to the hammock.
The hammock? Okay.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
And I'm going to rip it off of his handles.
Okay.
Oh, but it's probably hanging up high.
Yeah, now it's like on the ceiling. Right?
Okay. And then I'm going to hold on to these. And I'm going to wait for him to come close.
You're gonna
I
hold
guess
on to
I'm
what,
kind
sorry?
of... What's that?
What are you holding on to, sorry?
So I'm holding on to the hammock, which I've got, and I'm tightening into like a rope.
Yeah, no, the hammock's like 20 feet above you.
Oh, okay.
It's like really high.
All right. Never mind. I won't do that then. In that case,
What do the heads look like? Are they all like? Are they separate heads?
They're masks. Oh, his heads?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all blank heads, all granite. The entire creature is granite.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to run over to Whip.
Okay. He's like, oh,
If it's still
yeah, I'll let you do something else.
yeah,
Because this thing.
and I'm going to take the burlap sack from his hand,
Okay.
and I'm say,
next time, don't get caught.
and I'm gonna get the bag ready.
I'm going to try something.
Okay. Yeah, you pull the burlap sack from him. He's like, oh, and he like lets it go as he like falls back down. And yeah, the creature comes towards you. So give me a it'll do an attack roll. And it misses.
It misses.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good.
I have light armor as well, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that'll matter if it hits you. But it's sort of slow and it sort of reaches out and tries to grab for you and it misses.
Gosh.
Okay. Great. So I'm going to take the burlap sack, kind of just grasping at straws here. I'm going to flip around and slip it onto the thing's ape head.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say it starts being like, it's perfectly fine, but you sort of sense that maybe it's slowly losing sight.
Okay. And then I'm going to back away from it and continue to wash it and see how fast it's losing its sight.
It's the same. Like it's you've covered one of its eyes. Think of it that way.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So Ward sort of sits up. He's like, well, what can I do to help? And he sort of like limps over to the wardrobe.
You just stay out of the way, unless you can dodge his attacks.
But I have this! And he reaches in his pocket and pulls out the dusty cashew.
If you want to try to eat it, you go for it. I don't know. It might work.
And he eats it.
You
All
feel
right,
powerful.
Or I guess you covered the creature, so now it comes at you again, and it charges you this time. Oh, and it severely misses. It like smashes into one of the walls beside it, and the stained glass sort of rattles as it smashes into the walls and looks back at you.
I do hope you're taking notes, Whip. This is how you dodge an attack. This is how you distract it. Okay, let us try something else.
And I'm going to run up the wall, and I'm going to try to grab onto the bird mask.
Okay.
I'm going to try to pull it off.
Ooh, okay. Give me a roll. It's going to be tough.
All right. What am I rolling? Dexterity, strength?
Yeah, definitely dexterity.
All right.
Okay, that is 12.
Okay, yeah. You run up to the bird mask and you pull it off. And I will say, yeah, I'll say it snaps, and it seems a little bit more blinded as you fall back, and it takes a big swipe at you in the air, sort of as you fall back. Whip stands up and he's like, oh, I think maybe, and he runs over to the wall, like limps, and he starts walking up it.
Hey, that's not bad. Did I find any more of those cashews?
No, it was the only one. And he starts walking up, and I ate the whole thing.
Okay, well, we'll figure this out in a bit. Okay. It's good. Great.
All right, so now it's his turn to attack me.
Yeah, so he's going to charge you again, which is a high damage, but
Right.
it has to be.
But does he have... Can he charge me? I'm right next to him.
Oh, then he's just going to swipe at you, and he's going to hit you hard. So it's going to be like a 1d6 damage. How much health do you have?
Oh, 5. How much
5
health
left.
do I have? 5 hits, so that's 6 health, 6 damage total that I've taken.
And what's your health at?
My health.
I think you just roll at the beginning 2d6 or something, don't you?
It didn't. Maybe. Oh, 1. Okay, so I do 3d6 because I've got Constitution 2.
Yeah, you have 1 hit die plus an extra die equal to your con. Yeah. So you roll all of those.
Okay. So I'll do that now. Oh, fuck. I've got 6 health, so I'm dead.
So no, we'll say you have 1 left because I didn't know how much you had.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he wallops you as you go
Oh,
flying
wait.
into
Oh,
the
so
corner.
I take... No, I do have 1 left because...
Oh, light armor.
Oh,
Right.
but the first damage I didn't take because...
So you only have 4 hit points down. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But he still wallops you this time. And you go flying to the far, and you realize 1 more hit, and you're done for. As you crumple.
Unless he rolls a 1. Or a 2. Okay. Okay. This is good.
Now, is he like... Is it affecting his rolls? Like his sight? His visibility?
Yeah, it's sort of. Not really. I mean, he can still see. Put it this way: you have 1 head, right? And he now has 2. So even at 2 heads, he's still rolling. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like he's
That's
still
true.
doing really well.
Okay.
Well, there is only one way out of this.
And I'm gonna try and take another mask off.
Okay. There are other burlap sacks in the thing too. I guess they're probably scattered on the floor now. So whatever is easier, I guess.
So this time I got a 8.
Okay. So yeah, you succeed. So how do you do it this time?
This time I wait for him to charge me, and I jump off the back wall as he's getting close, and I leap over his head, grabbing onto the bottom chin part of the mask and pulling it up. And then I land on the ground with a roll, right over the glass window.
Yeah, and he sort of spins around at you, and the last exposed mask is the shrimp one. He's like, and I will say your ward, is walking down the wall, and he sort of starts running around, feeling a bit better, and he's gonna jump at. Did you roll for all that, by the way? Oh, you did 8.
Yep.
And he jumps at the mask as well, seeing what you're doing, and he gets a 10. And he grabs the last mask and tears it off as he sort of tumbles forward. And the creature sort of goes... And now he's blinded. But he still has 1 mask on under the burlap mask.
Right.
So he's going to take a swipe at a severe disadvantage. Which is good because he would have fucked you up. But he swipes at you. And he misses wide.
Okay. Very good job. That is how you do it. I got to get me one of those cashews.
And I'm going to, with the burlap sack still on it, I'm going to try and rip off the
Perfect. And I'm going to say, yeah,
mask.
you do. And the
Ooh,
statue...
I got a 14 as well.
Oh, perfect. And it grinds to a halt. And the egg looks loose in its hand.
Oh, very nice.
And I take the burlap sack and I shake it off. And I say,
Oh, Whip, I want you to go through my sack
and I give him my adventuring gear.
and pull out those horse ears that we got earlier. I'm going to need them.
As I start putting the egg carefully into the burlap sack.
Perfect. So yeah, you tie it up and he pulls up the horse ears and he hands them back to you.
Oh, wait, these are the ones that are worth some money, but don't heal me, right?
Mm-hmm.
See. Okay. How do you suppose that we will be able to get out of here?
and he looks up, and as he looks up to the door that you entered from, you see liquid start pooling out of it, and it sort of comes down in a gush and starts pouring down, and you run back and you see the acid sort of pouring down the wall as he sort of nervously backs away, but it flows out pretty easily to the hole in the floor, and he looks up to the hemp rope hammock and he says, if I can untie that, we can use that rope to help you up.
That is a good idea. You go ahead, do that. Here, use this.
Oh wait, actually, yeah, you can just untie it.
Okay, just untie it. I won't.
He runs up and he unties the hemp rope, and it's sort of woven together, but it works well enough to sort of lower a bit and give you something to climb up on.
Perfect.
You sort of have to stack the furniture. Like, you have to push the wardrobe over and push the chair over and the desk, and you're like rickety over like this hole in the ground that's like 500 feet to the surface, and you can just barely reach the bottom if you jump, but you eventually do. And the two of you climb up to the stairwell, which again is now inverted as you begin climbing the upside down steps to the next floor.
Excellent. Now, the acid that's coming down, how are we avoiding it? Through the
It's
staircase.
all poured out right now. Now it's
all poured out.
like a trickle. Yeah.
Okay. Now where it is now? It's now on the bottom.
It's
in the
also
room
poured out through the top, aka the bottom, as you start.
Oh, like the glass.
steps.
The glass, like 10 by like 10-foot window or whatever.
That was
Skylight?
open.
That was open.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to throw you through. That's what he threw the ward through.
Oh, I did not even realize.
Oh yeah, he was like.
I thought it was a window the whole
He was
time.
trying to throw you out of it. No. It was like wide open. It was just like arid hole.
Wait, I thought it was glass. I almost stepped on it like three times.
My hand was dangled through it. Anyway, as you come into this room, you remember acid now showers down from the pipe, and it seems to be filling the room, the ceiling that you saw. Sitting on the floor are the skeletons, and as you step on the floor of this room, they become animated.
I knew that would happen. That's a good thing there's only one left.
No, they're all back because they fell in the pool and then the pool drained.
But just one of them is attached to a chain.
One is attached to a chain. Two are attached to a chain. One is still attached.
Three are, because I never submerged the other three.
That's right, yeah. So one is free.
Okay. Well, just avoid the ones on the chains.
Yeah,
and,
so the one, I guess the one without the chain begins at you.
Okay. Come.
I'll let you do the first attack.
See, yes, I do believe. Oh, damn it. I should have made use of my, my skill. Anyways. Yeah, I'm going to fire my bow at it.
Okay, give me a roll.
Okay, that is a 9.
9. Okay, that's a hit. Yeah, so your arrow sings true and hits one of the skeletons in the head as it tumbles over into a pile of bones.
Oh, that was easy.
The other three stand up and begin moving towards you. One of their chains are loose, so it starts coming towards you. And the ward's going to try to take his little short sword and swing at that one. With a 9, he hits that too. And it falls down in a pile of bones. And as he does, he sort of gets cocky and turns to the other two. And he's like, I've got these ones as well. And he runs at one and hits it. But as he does, the other one steps forward and swipes at him too. And does 2 points of damage to the ward. Oof.
Ouch. Ah! That was a stupid move, Whip. That was very stupid. I'm going to shoot my arrow at the one that attacked him.
Good call.
Oh, actually, no. I'm not going to. I'm going to walk into the room casually. And I'm going to look on the floor for the emerald.
Okay, give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. That is an 8.
Okay, so you feel a burning as a drip of acid, which is still pouring from the pipe above you, sort of lands next to you on the floor and like slashes on your boot. It doesn't do damage, but like you can feel it through your boot as you realize that you're sort of now standing under the center. And I'm going to say the emerald, well, let's do a 50-50. 1 to 2, it's still stuck in the grate. Yeah, so it's still stuck in the grate high above you.
Oh, okay.
Just to be difficult.
Well, you think I'm going to help you? You started that fight unnecessarily. Oh.
And I'm going to fire my arrow at the emerald above.
Perfect. Give me a roll.
Okay, that is it then.
Nice. So yeah, you knock the gem out and it falls down perfectly in your hand as you look down and realize the first skeleton you hit is now standing back up.
Interesting. Okay, we need to leave.
How do we leave? And he starts like swinging wildly at the skeletons.
Do not attack the ones that are in the chains. Well, just the one left now. We leave out the front door, the way we came in.
No,
Oh, wait.
How? And he points, and there's like, again, the door out of this place is like 20 feet up on the ceiling.
See. I know.
And so the last skeleton, the one that's attached to the chain,
Yeah.
the chain is now going up to the winch.
Yes.
So I'm going to climb up that chain. I say, hurry on up. Get on the chain beneath me.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
Oh, yeah.
10.
Okay, yeah. You can make it up to the top. Actually, mind you, the ward has the cashew still, so he just walks up the wall.
Oh, beauty. Good for him.
It's an hour. And you definitely didn't take an hour in that first room. So yeah, he walks up the wall to the second thing.
Hey, hey, take this.
And I pass him I pull up one of the ropes or chains that isn't attached to a skeleton.
Perfect.
I hand it off to him as I'm holding onto this other chain.
Brilliant. Okay.
Bring that over there. And why don't you, I don't know if holding onto it is the easiest way, or if there's something you can tie it to. A wall sconce. Yeah, hold it. Attach it to one of those. I can climb over.
So we do that, and attach it to the wall sconce, and you end up climbing over.
Perfect.
Good.
Well done. You're doing quite well, young ward.
Yes, I think everything should be fine now. And as you
No.
And I stop him. I stop him before going into the last room.
I say, shh. Now, are you ready for the last rule to learn as a thief?
Yes.
Never enter a room boisterously. Remember the tavern?
Oh, yes.
That is not how we enter a room. We enter a room like this. And I crouch down low, and I put out my short bow, and I stick to the shadows as I enter the final room.
And as you enter the final room, you see everything shattered because you didn't turn the magnet back on. There is broken glass. The heavy shelves litter the floor. The carpet is tangled. And you see the trapdoor high above you is open. The front door is still open, and it faces rock. Oh boy. You like walk upon broken glass as you enter the room.
This is good. This is fine.
Give me a dexterity roll.
Well, I'm looking for the snake.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving. That's why you give me a dexterity roll.
Well, no. So I have
an awareness roll then.
Reflexes.
Yeah, reflexes.
Which is I always go first. I can always react when suddenly surprised.
Okay. So
I'm trying to be stealthy. Maybe, I don't know, like the whole point of me coming into this room was to be stealthy because I know that snake's there. So at least let me have a roll for that to see if I can
go for it. Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
All right. So I did a 9 to stealth.
Yeah, so you spot it right away. You see the slithering snake through the broken glass, just feet from you.
Right. Okay.
Do you attack it?
I do. But I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I do attack it.
Totally.
That's 10.
Nice. So you fire your arrow and it sings true to it?
Yes. Now, because I'm attacking from concealment, I get my backstab skill.
Okay.
And so it takes 6 points of damage.
Bring! You pin the fucking thing to the ground. And it's dead. Nice.
How big is that snake?
The ward like leans out and is like, oh, very good, Alejandro. I swear that would have consumed us both. It looked so deadly.
Now that is more of an assassin's move, but sometimes the thief needs to play the role of assassin. Now, you will be able to find the way up there pretty easily. Me, on the other hand, it's not going to be so easy. How do you suppose? Actually,
and he sort of looks around the room. I don't know.
No. I need you to go up. I'm going to stand here on the middle of the ceiling, the floor that used to be the ceiling, and I want you to pull one of those levers. Okay? Can you do this?
Okay. And he walks up the wall to the lever and pulls it, and sure enough, the floor begins raising.
Okay.
Rather quickly.
Now I want you to stop it right now.
And he does. And this thing starts falling back down.
Okay. And now I want you to push it as I'm going down. Now I want you to push it again. And I want you to leave out the trapdoor. Can you do this?
Yes, Alejandro. And he throws the lever and he begins running across the floor to it. And he's like, good luck. And he dives in as you start coming up towards the trapdoor.
Yeah, and I look at it. I'm just kind of gauging. All right, am I there? Am I there? Because it's pretty narrow. It's like a meter.
Could you imagine how nerve-wracking that would probably be to try to get this right?
Yeah,
and go?
It would be pretty tricky.
Give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. Okay, I got an 11.
And as you're coming up, you realize that you're actually off center, and just about before you're crushed to death, the metal brackets of the shelving stops. You would have gotten right anyway, or you did roll well anyway. But it was
yeah. But it's just a little intense. And I'd be like, whew, and I move over slightly.
And you climb through the trap door, and you start moving across the sewer as you see the ward in front of you, and he's like, I think we're good. And he heads up and he climbs out and he reaches down to help you out. And the two of you are now standing on the side of the cliff as the thing is inverted, and the ward sort of sighs. He's like, oh, we did it, Alejandro. We did it.
See, we did. We've done a very good job. And because of this, I want to show you what we came here to get.
And I reach into the burlap sack and I pull out the blood egg. And I say,
this egg is not only worth a lot of money, but it's also something that will make you be respected among the eyes of all thieves all over the land. When I first came here, I had every intention of keeping it myself. But I believe that it is time for me to retire from this whole thieving business and pass on my legacy to someone new. And so
I hand over my mask and I tie it around his eyes. And then I say, come on, open your hand. Open your hand.
And he opens them.
The last rule of being a thief is not being afraid to pass the torch to someone who you know that someday will do an even better job than you. And I pass over the blood egg
to a whippoorwill.
And he's tears in his eyes, looks up to you and says, "Why, thank you, Alejandra. I'll never forget this. I guess I am a thief after all." And he hugs you and turns to leave. And as he does, a small, frail voice comes from the pathway. An old woman says, "Oh, hello." And he says, "Hello there, woman." And she's like, "Oh, that's a beautiful egg. Were you the one that took it?" And he goes, "Yes." Looking at you, smiling. "Yes, I was." And a bolt of lightning shoots out of her fingertips and tears through his stomach. And the air fills with a spray of red mist as he fucking dies falling over. And the Fabergé egg kind of rolls to your feet. And she, like, grimaces and turns towards you, her, like, gray hair standing on end and her eyes completely black. And she floats off the ground and she's like, "How dare you steal from me?" And like lightning starts shooting from her fingertips, and she turns towards you and says, "Who the hell are you?"
"Hi, miss. I'm Alejandro Esteban. I wish you good day."
And I pick up the egg, and I jump over the cliff into the waterfall. The crazy 500-foot drop below.
And as Alejandro, you go soaring down through the fucking... You go through the tower for some reason. It's like hollow now. And you go like flying through floor to floor easily. And you fall right through the ceiling. And you land in the water with a sploosh. As she's like, "No!"
Light sploosh.
And you go swimming to a new beach, to a boat. You untie it and you sail to a new world. And we're going to end it there. I don't want to go through all the hassle of trying to do the combat of her, but I had to kill that dude off because it was too funny.
That was hilarious. That was perfect timing.
Yeah. Did you think who she was, or did you think it was?
Oh no, I knew exactly who she was as soon as you said, "and an old lady." Like, it was pretty obvious that it would be her. But I think that's fantastic.
I was hoping that enough time had passed that people were forgetting like what was going on. Like they were kind of like, "Oh yeah, like this is a nice ending, like a stupid but a funny ending scene." I wanted them to forget that you had broken into an old lady's home. So there we go. That was the Bartizan of the Blood Egg. Bartizan of the Blood Egg. Now, my favorite part of these one-shot dungeons. Let's take a look at it together. Okay, how do I rotate this back? Rotate clockwise. Rotate clockwise. Hope everybody had fun. It was a difficult one tonight. We've all been a bit under the weather, I think. Okay, where do we go?
Oh, I just realized I was not reading the comments in the chat at all. like our group chat.
Yeah.
In the Hangouts.
Well, that's okay. Not a big deal. All right, so here is the overall document. Let me zoom out and you can see it properly. So again, this is it. You can kind of see it. It's sort of meant to be viewed upside down or right side up, which is pretty cool. And it's funny because this won, I think, 3rd place in their competition. And I was kind of confused as to why when I started reading it. I'm like, it's just a tower. But I thought it was really cool with the flipping upside down. So let's take a look. So it says, it starts off, the Tower of Voluntia, still can't fucking say it, the Vivimancer perches on a lonely lip of the rock jutting from the great cliffs 500 feet above the crashing sea. It is rumored that the blood egg, a ruby the size of a melon, is kept here. The sorceress seems to be away, and the secret password you acquired has unlocked the front door without a hitch. So again, I just read that verbatim. So that's the front door. So here is the visual. Did I describe it well?
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what I pictured.
So here we go. Number 1, the first floor. A, which is all the jars, pickled curios in glass jars, and then it says T1, lined steel shelves. So T1, here's the pickled oddities. I don't understand how this works. This is roll 3d6 a jar. And then there's 6 options. It says there's human eyes, which is health if eaten, newt skin, which is poison if eaten, horse ears, which is worth 1d20 coins, rat lips, hyena bladders, and something tongues. They're all worthless. But I don't understand how 3d6, I guess you get 3 jars of it? That's how I took it. Because it's only a 6.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't get it either.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe that's why it won third, not first.
Then B is a deadly snake coils in the tropical terrarium. 2 brass levers on either side, and then D, the fine red carpet, conceals a trap door under the terrarium, leads to a grimy cellar, and 3 feet of a sewage shaft draining into the open air above the sea. Then it says the shelves are magnetized. Any metal that touches must be pried away, including jars in the floor itself. Demagnetizes if either lever or both is thrown. The ceiling falls 2 feet a second if one lever is thrown. Reversing the levers reverses these effects. So it's like really confusing. But I think I did that justice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got the vibe of it for sure.
Then we got the next room. Effervescent green acid gouts from a pipe into a 10-foot pool. Scalds flesh if touched. An emerald is wedged in the drain among the grit. 4 skeletons dangle from chains, T2. 4 levers raise or lower the skeletons. If one reaches the pool floor, their chains fall loose from the winch. And the skeletons, 1 to 3 do nothing. 4 is a silver arrowhead in the eye socket. 5 is a gold tooth worth 1 coin. And 6 is a gold ring on a finger stub. It's cursed. It constricts the finger until it rots.
Yeah.
So I thought that would have been pretty funny if you let the ward take that. Just because it would have been really detrimental to him. Like, ah!
Yeah.
And yeah, 4 skeletons, 4 blah, blah, blah. 1 reaches the pool. They fall loose from the winch. That's that floor. Then we got the top floor. A 10-foot skylight. Oh, they can't really see this, can they? Here we go.
I can see it. Oh.
I know, but it's because we zoom in a little bit.
Right.
A 10-foot skylight, 6 stained glass windows depict evolutionary scenes. A fish crawls from the sea, Neanderthals. Stone statue with 4 faceless heads and 4 arms, inscription quadriplegics. 4 hands grasp the blood egg. Crate bears a spider icon, contains burlap sacks, 1 dusty cashew, which allows you to walk on walls for 1 hour if consumed. Mahogany chairs and table set. Wardrobe displays 4 masks, blah, blah, blah. Hammock of hemp, nothing to do with it. And then it just says, for each mask placed on the statue in the reverse order that they are listed above, 1 granite hand moves from the jewel. But the final mask, for any mistake before it triggers the trap. So you had no real option.
Oh, wait, say that again. So 1 granite hand moves from the jewel.
Yeah, everything that happened was right. It just, no matter what, when you do the final mask, it triggers the trap.
I see.
So you did it correctly. There just was no option. So then a trap. The entire tower shudders violently and flips upside down in an instant. Everything not secured falls 30 feet. The doorways are now 20 feet up. Flip sheet over to continue. And then this is the new start. So now this is the room. This was the center of the floor. I thought this was a really cool way they designed this, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, the inverted tower now dangles from the overhanging lip of the cliff. The furniture crashes to the ground but does not break. The statue grinds to life and tries to throw the PCs through the skylight to their certain doom. It wields the ruby like a bludgeon. Massive stone body of the great strength, resists blades and arrows, grabs with 3 hands, bashes with the 4th. So, other than the cashew, I don't know how you get out of this room. I mean, this is where the fucking thing was. So
yeah.
That's why I was like, okay, if you pile this furniture, maybe you'll reach the bottom of it.
Right, exactly. And kind of run up the wall a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we let it happen. Then in the 5th room, acid showers down from the pipe, filling the room 1 feet per 5 minutes. The skeletons are animated and will attack anything their chains can reach. So this one we sort of riffed a little bit because I think they should come back to life because that makes sense. And I had the pool run out of the room because I didn't really know how the hell else you're supposed to do it, right? Like the acid has to go somewhere.
Right, yeah. Well, the acid would go downstairs, I guess.
That's what we did, and then I had to run out here after a few minutes.
Right.
And then it was just like dripping down here. But it's supposed to fill the room, so I don't really know how that works either. And then the front door now leads to solid rock. Everything in this room remains fixed to the ceiling unless demagnetized, which you did, which was funny.
Yeah, it didn't really matter, though.
What?
Oh, just the angry snake. The angry snake man.
Well, I think it would have been easier to navigate, and you would have been able to get the jars. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. It just says, beware shattered glass, heavy shelves, a tangled carpet, and an angry snake. The trap door of the sewer is now revealed. And then it says epilogue. A short climb through the grimy sewer leads to freedom. Much has been plundered, but the right buyer may be hard to find, and Voluntia will be looking for the burglars. In fact, she may be waiting outside. So I wasn't totally off base having her outside either. Like, it does say that she can do it, but
she could be, yeah. But
yeah,
that was great. That was a lot of fun. Well done.
I thought so too. Thank you. These one-shot dungeons, one-page dungeons, are really cool. I am really a fan of them, and every once in a while, what I've done is I've downloaded the group of them, but I've also downloaded the list of like winners, like which ones won first place. The top two that won, this was the third place, I think, which I think for the concept, it's worth it. I think there's some things that could be a little better, but I think the concept of this tower that flips and you have to redo the rooms you've already done is really neat.
That was really cool. And actually, like, I was glad too. Like the challenges. Like, you made a note, like, encouraging me to try to, figure out the challenges, and I didn't see it until the very end.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I think, like, definitely that middle room, especially the one with the skeletons, I couldn't really figure out the emerald on my own.
No, like, you couldn't. Really... I don't really know how. I just wanted, honestly, for that, I just wanted to take a little more time in the rooms because I didn't want you to get to the top before the mid game. But yeah, I thought for the concept was really cool. The two winners for the 2018 one, which I was looking at, we might do them, but they're not like dungeons. The winner is a 50s sort of diner. It's fantasy set, but it's sort of like graduation Scooby-Doo era 50s diner fantasy, where like there's a cult and you have to travel around the city.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really like it, to be honest. I was kind of like, it was okay, but it wasn't all that interesting.
Yeah.
And then the winner, and then the second place was also another weird one. It was basically, let's see if I can remember. One-shot dungeon. Where are my sheets? LMNOP. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I feel like, again, these are going to be ones that were not... Oh, it was called Rampaging Robot. Oh, it was post-apocalyptic, and you had to kill a robot. I didn't read it that much because I didn't want to do a post-apocalyptic game. But I mean, if it won second place, it must be really good, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think
probably. I mean, like, maybe they were run well. Like, I wonder, like, when they're competing.
No, I think they just submitted them and then they reviewed.
Oh, I see.
Huh. Yeah. But whatever the case,
maybe someone was sleeping with the judge.
Yeah. They were very cool either way. And I think these one-page dungeons are fantastic. If you are ever looking for a good pickup game, I couldn't recommend them enough. Honestly, they require no prep. That's why we did it tonight, obviously. And you can tell because we've been doing a great job. But I read everything on the fly from this. And the start of the game was on the fly. Like, I read the concept that the tower flips. Like, I scanned it and I was like, how does this work? I was like, oh, the tower flips about halfway. But beyond that, I read everything on stream. I was like...
Amazing.
Well, more so... That's bad DMing.
Hey, you know what? It works. I mean, like, you can get by on it. Like,
well, what I mean to say is that these are great pickup games. And we did this because Joe wasn't playing tonight. Originally, she was going to. She was feeling sick. She was kind of like, you know what? I'm going to judge last minute. And I said, you know what? I'll run this if you can't play. She couldn't play, so we're going to do this. But these pickup games are perfect. So if you have friends stop by, honestly, and they're like, yeah, we could do a quick game. This World of Dungeon system takes 15 seconds to learn, and these one-page dungeons, you can literally Google and print off any of them. To me, this is such a great pickup game because everything you need is on this one page. You can refer to it. Rob Diobald, bless this man, got me into these at a convention. We were playing 1-hour games, which was really cool, actually. It was sort of like gymnastics. No, what do they call them? GMing by storm. Gaming by storm. Gymnastics sounds better. But gaming by storm. Gaming by storm.
Okay.
And you would move from table to table, and Chris and I did a few, and Chris and I played the one that he had done, which is the first one we ran here, which was Temple of the Moon Priest. And I think they're just such a great idea. Really short, quick scenarios that you can knock out in 2 or 3 hours and have some fun with. I'm a big supporter of these.
Yeah, I have yet to run one.
I know.
I've yet to try it.
And Johnny said that he wants to do a one-page dungeon contest, which I think would be fucking amazing. Johnny, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, he said after the first one of these, I ran a couple great resources and lots of fun for an impromptu session. I didn't know that, John. That's awesome. I'm glad. And you can always take our ideas and run with them. And God, I love the Invictus stream. I missed watching them. Aw, says Ty Bedrosian.
Yeah, speaking of, I was thinking about Ty Bedrosian as the winner of Endgame Experience. Mostly because he said that he loved my accent. So
I heard, yeah, you just have to compliment him, and that's pretty.
I'm not sure actually. Are you in the Facebook group Ty Bedrosian?
I think.
Are
that's
you Tyler?
I think it's Tyler. He'll have to tell us. If I've got your blessing, I'll organize that. Yeah, Johnny, you have my blessing. John, you have my blessing to do pretty much anything. You are Chronicle brother. You are I don't know, Justin, what's the title bestowed to Johnny?
Well, someone who has your blessing all the time. I mean, this has biblical connotations, first to say. So perhaps
covenant.
You are or Adam.
You are part of the covenant.
Yes. You are our Adam. You can do anything you like, but just don't eat that fucking apple.
But give me your goddamn rib. Your goddamn rib. Yeah, Tyler
Leonard. All right, sweet. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Tyler Leonard. You win the Endgame XP.
How about the competition during one of the brewery game nights? That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be fun, eh?
How do we do that, though?
Well, I think that we should do the competition, and then the top 3 we run.
We run it. That would be cool.
Yeah.
We should run on stream though, so that they can see it.
Yeah, we can stream it from there. I'm sure. We can find a way. I don't know. Is there internet at the Chronicle Brew place?
I'm sure there is. It's 2018.
It is a 2018.
I think we should do. That would be really cool. So how could we do this? We'll leave it to Johnny, but I think he was saying people submit a one-page dungeon, right?
People submit
a one-page dungeon, and then we vote on the winner.
Yeah.
And then we run it, and then if you win, you get some cool shit.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And then, we run it though after they get the cool shit.
Well, I don't know. Then we got to make the competition, and then you see make the competition at the brewery night. I don't know. We got to think about it. Whatever the case, January 12th is the brew night. I said this at the beginning, Johnny. I know you're watching now, but we said that at the beginning. So you make sure you guys come. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We got the end game. We got the stuff. We got an early end tonight, which is fine by me because I am exhausted.
Yeah, you're a tired boy.
I'm tired. I had the boy and Joe this weekend. Joe is so under the weather. Poor girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So been taking care of both of them. And Henry is not under the weather, which is great, but worse because it's a full energy baby.
True.
And then then the week's been very similar of taking care, and then the weekend will be the same.
Took a bath.
And I took a bath. I needed a bath. I was like.
I wish I could have a nice bath.
I know.
The bath upstairs is big. Well, we got a big bath upstairs, but it doesn't get hot. The tap just runs lukewarm.
That's weird.
For some reason. Yeah, but then the bath down here works fine, but it's maybe good size for a 10-year-old. It is not built for a 6'5".
No, it's definitely not.
Guy like me. Yeah. So
that's true.
I can't have a bath unless I come over to your place. We'll come over to your place with a rubber ducky and a loofah.
I can do the Henry thing. We can take a bath together.
Hey, that's true too. Very romantic. So
Henry and I
bubble
do
bath
all the time
after a night of charcuterie.
Ooh, yeah, you must be excited for your. I mean, it's not really charcuterie, but it's components. That's what I call it.
Yeah, it's components. Yeah, I guess charcuterie would be like meats, right?
Technically, yeah. Technically, it's entirely meats charcuterie, but
really,
yeah, that's what charcuterie means. I think it means like.
Well, I'm excited for it's component dinner and it's interesting jams. I got like a weird jam.
What flavors?
I don't remember.
Fig orange.
I got one of them was roasted or pepper jam, red pepper.
Oh,
jam
red pepper jelly.
Or red pepper jelly. Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
very common.
Was that a good call? Or you said no jellies? Actually, I just remember.
No. What I meant when I said no jellies was like no Smuckers, like
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's all I meant.
So I got that and then I got like a caramelized onion and apricot or something like
That'll
that.
be good. Is it a compote or is it an actual jelly jam?
Can I run and check? Actually, it's just around the corner.
Go for it. Both work, but go for it. I'm curious. Guys, we're gonna teach you about one of my favorite dinners, component dinners, which is where you make all these little beautiful boards of like cheeses and cucumbers and carrots and not carrots, olives, meats. Justin has this date and he's asked me to help him, to guide him with my rules for component dinners. And I helped because I am the best friend and I want to help my boy. Yeah.
What's this?
Let's see. I was just talking about what we're talking about, the component dinners.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. You know what? Actually, like as a date, I'm excited for it because like we're gonna be doing it together, right?
It's the best part.
Cutting all the ingredients and
here we go. This is
arranging it in a nice way.
Harlan's Guide to Component Dinners.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is freaking out. There we go. Okay, so we have pick one nut. Did you pick a nut?
Yes. I've got chocolate covered almonds. I decided to go with.
Okay.
I do have pistachios as well, though, that I can throw in. I just was like, I wanted to focus more on like the crackers and cheese and breads and stuff.
Totally. Well, pistachios are gonna work perfect. So that's your nut. Do you have two veggies or one or two veggies?
Veggies. I have the bell pepper.
Perfect.
And the cucumber.
Fantastic.
I think. Wait, which ones are you sharing right now?
No, I'm sharing my guide. Yeah, I'm sharing the guide. Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, so I got. I think I got another vegetable. Well, I got like the stuffed peppers, but that's not.
No, they come later on.
They come later on. Okay, so yeah, cucumbers, I guess.
So julienne bell pepper, sliced round cucumber, perfect. Did you get one or two fruits?
Yep. So I got pink lady apples.
Brilliant. And, make sure you slice those bad boys.
Oh yeah, that's the plan. And then some not tangerines.
Clementine oranges.
Clementines.
Perfect. They're delicious and tart. So good and in season. Cheeses. What cheeses did you go with?
Okay, so I went with a brie.
Perfect.
But then there was also I went with a cheddar, but it was like a
aged cheddar.
Black pepper cheddar. So I guess there's
that's good.
Yeah, pepper mixed in. So it was like more of a tart, sharp cheese. Yeah.
Nice. That's perfect. Are you going to now? You can do the brie straight up and down, or you can bake the brie if you want to get fancy.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. The only problem with that is that I don't want there to be too long prep. How long does it take to do the baked brie?
It takes like half an hour because you do it low and slow.
Yeah, that would be a little bit too long.
Okay, perfect. And then one or two crackers. They're not that important. Anyone can pick crackers. I'm sure you did good. What?
I picked a floppy disk, and
well, I mean, I'm a bit of a snob, but like
Viva Puffs.
I wouldn't do Ritz. You know what I mean? Like Triscuits are fine, or like those vegetable thins.
Well, I was going with again like I was everything that you've got on the list. Like you're trying to create pairings, so like different flavors, I guess.
Definitely.
So I went with one that's like really crunchy, like those like small like little bread loaf type things that are crunchy. But then I also got like a rice cracker.
Like the plain sort of white rice crackers, right?
Yeah, that's like a bit lighter, not as hard to chew.
Fantastic. And then we got the option to pick a salt, which I sort of broadly put because this is important to me. She says she doesn't like olives, which to me is
she doesn't like olives.
The biggest one I would do. But that's fine. Stuffed pepper are really good with cheese and oil. And this is what you went with, right?
Yep.
Such a great option.
Yeah. Garlic. I think it's garlic and cheese. And
nice. Be really good. They're really delicious. I would slice those long ways before you plate them.
Well, so they had two. I started grabbing one kind, and then I saw they had the long ones. Mine are smaller.
Oh, okay.
They're just like little tiny. You'd still cut them, eh?
Well, the only reason is with the pepper, the flesh is usually a bit more connected. You know what I mean? Like if you bite into a pepper, you're gonna get like, if you bite into a full pepper, you're gonna have to really pierce that flesh. If you cut it in half, you're gonna bite it from the inside. Same way like you cut a pepper, you cut a bell pepper from the inside out, right? You don't cut it from the flesh down because it's a lot tougher. Minor, but that's just my recommendation.
Yeah. Okay. Then, we can do that.
Do you have a dried fruit?
No, I didn't end up getting one.
Okay, not necessary. It's totally optional. That's seasonal too. Like I love sometimes putting a handful of dried cranberries sort of spread throughout the board if you want to be fancy. I love apricots. But... And then, did you go with any of these options? A sharp grain? Oh, you went with the jam. Oh yeah. So what's the jam? Let's see.
So the jam I got. So the other one is red pepper jelly. This one is a caramelized onion and maple confit. Is that like? Is that a thing? Is that? Does that make sense? Should I have done that?
A confit? CONFIT?
Yeah, CONFIT.
FIT, sorry. Yeah, but normally
it was like next.
I've only had like.
It was like next to the jams.
It means to preserve. Oh, okay. I thought there's no meat in it though, eh?
No meat. No.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty sure there.
Okay, because the biggest is like duck confit is like really, really popular.
Oh yeah.
But it's a hot dish, so no. And it's just, what do you say, caramelized onion and fig?
And maple. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh okay. So it says truly versatile. This condiment has unlimited applications, enjoyed with beef, pork, chicken, pate, and charcuterie plate. Serve with salmon, fresh trout, sandwiches, cheese plates, etc.
So it's savory.
I think it is. It's like, it's a savory, sweet, salty thing.
Yeah, so that'll be good. That'll probably pair well with like some of that fruit on a cracker and cheese. Yeah, that'll be good. And the red pepper jelly is really nice. Super, super popular too. Did you go with the red or the jalapeno one?
Red.
Yeah, so good. Nice. And then we have here at the bottom.
I'm gonna pick up some fresh bread on the way over tomorrow, rather than I didn't pick it up today.
Great call. Are you gonna do fresh bread with olive oil and balsamic, or just bread?
Oh yeah, with balsamic as well.
Yeah. So good. And then arrange cheeses at opposite sides of the boards. Take handfuls of everything else. Distribute it in sections around the board. Slice a few pieces of each cheese for easy picking. Anything that would stay in the board, place in bowls. Smear mustard and jam directly on board. You're good. Perfect.
So now I'm excited too. I don't know if she'll be as excited, but she runs a company that sells beeswax wraps.
Oh,
so it's kind of like
leftovers.
Yeah. So it's kind of like saran wrap, but you can use them to create like little bowls or like little pockets to put stuff nuts. In. Yeah. So I was thinking like we would arrange it, and then she could take some shots with her.
Cute.
We'll use her product on it.
That'd be really nice, especially with like a loose like bowl of like pistachios overflowing. That would be so cute.
Yeah.
Harlan, he says he's a terrible cook, so all is lost on me. This is the easiest. This is like the go-to dinner that like Joe and I do, because
so easy.
I love cooking.
Honestly,
oh man, what? Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say like that I really appreciate Harlan putting together this list for me. Honestly, like, can we make this available to the INVICTUS people? Because this like helped me out so much.
I'm gonna post it. I'm happy to. Honestly, this is how I eat 75% of my dinners. I'm not big anymore. Like, there was a time where I was really big on like hot meals and cooking every night and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, with like a baby, and that's one of the biggest things, component dinners are so nice because you can just keep a bunch of fresh shit in the fridge and like throw it together on a board and not worry about like how the fuck it's all going to come together necessarily. I'm big on like simple. And let me also share a picture of a meal that Joe and I did, maybe to give you an idea of how like we would lay this out.
How to arrange it.
Yeah, the idea being that this is just like a nice way to eat food that you enjoy without having to spend the time to like look up a recipe and work endlessly at like trying to make something palatable. There's nothing wrong with like raw pepper and like raw cucumber and like a pepperoni stick. If they're arranged in a nice way, they can be probably one of the most fantastic things you eat.
I really love baguette and oil and balsamic.
Oh god, me too. Problem is like
it's such a great little snack.
What's that? What I gotta do? I gotta do a We Make Shit. I think the first official return of We Make Shit will be a component dinner, just to like show how the fuck it goes down. And I cannot for the life of me find one. It's a problem when you're not like taking pictures of your food all the time.
Well, Joe sent me a Instagram account, and then you sent it to me today.
Ain't Too Proud to Meg.
That Ain't Too Proud to Meg, which I think is a really clever name. But
really
B, like she makes component plates, I guess.
Yeah.
And different themes. So she's got like a Christmas plate out now, or board, I guess. And it just like, it just looks amazing. It's just beautiful aesthetically. I don't know how. Like, I don't know, have you looked at her plates and been like, it doesn't really, nothing really pairs well? Or
oh no, her stuff plate. Well, she does a lot more like theme plates. Like she does ones that are like all candy and stuff, which I wouldn't really do because it's a bit too. It's more like a kitschy thing. Like maybe if you're at a party or if it's like a Halloween party, you could be like, oh yeah, I want to do this whole thing. But for me, man, I cannot for the life of me find. Oh, I think Joe posted one on Instagram. But for me, I like to keep them a bit more. I don't want to say healthy because there's nothing healthy about it at all. Oh, here's one that we did.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, it's whole foods, mostly. Yeah, I think it's probably pretty healthy compared to, well, a lot of processed foods.
I would say the only drawback that I find is that there's a picture. The only drawback that I find is that you tend to eat more because you're like, especially if you make a big one. So on this plate that I just posted, this is one that Joe and I did. So we have some pepperoni sticks, grapes, pear, green beans, cheeses. I think there's 2 types of cheeses, 3 types of cheeses on the top and the bottom and the left. There is pita bread. There are pickles, cucumbers, olives, and strawberries, and then apricots. So some stuff I missed.
It looks amazing. It's just like, it's like you look at a plate like that, it's got so much variety, and you just get excited. Like
so
when you put that down, you just like, there's like a giddy sort of feeling to want to dig in.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like exciting. It's fucking food's exciting as shit, man. I love it, and it's so food's exciting as shit.
Food's exciting as shit by Harlan Guthrie.
Half my Instagram stuff is just pictures of the food I've made, not so much the food I've bought.
Well, I think like, I don't know, there is something about like seeing it, the like I said, the aesthetic portion of it.
Your eyes
so many people share their posts of things that they make, and I don't think they would if it looked like shit. Like,
no. Although there's a funny one I follow called what the hell is it called? Boys Who Can Cook.
Oh yeah.
And it actually is pretty funty because it's just.
I made a peanut butter jam sandwich.
It's super shitty, but it's like that's the joke. So maybe I should watch We Make Shit and get some cooking pointers from you. Well, you know what? I'm bringing We Make Shit back, and actually I'm gonna film some episodes over the holiday. I think I've been.
What if we did an entire like RPG night around We Make Shit, like a cooking role playing game?
I already have.
How would that work?
I already have the first 6 episodes laid out. I've written them down. I've written the documents. I just have to film them. We have chicken brie and fig sandwich. We have fried chicken. We have component dinners. We have escargot and crab legs. We have short ribs. And
oh my god!
rice.
Can I be a guinea pig on escargot crab leg night?
Yeah, you can.
I will invest and sponsor the episode.
Well, we gotta do cooking again, you and me, because I think that's...
Yeah, we do.
I think we make shit should just be you and me. I think you should be like filming, because honestly, half the time that takes me so long is filming it. I think you can be like there helping me, and then like it'll go so much quicker, and then we get to eat it afterwards.
I'm down. I'm down to be a cameraman, and then food guinea pig.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited that you are going to eat that. I'm going.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes.
Please do. Take a picture when it's done.
Yeah, we'll do.
Megan's funny. Damn it, can I?
Megan's funny?
Yeah. She's like,
oh, for the date night? Or for...
she wants to come over.
Crab legs and...
well, I just made mussels the other night. Did I show you those?
I saw the pictures. They looked great.
Yeah.
You had a different picture on Instagram.
I took a few pictures.
But still, what is that? What herb is that in
That's just chopped parsley. So they're really good. So they're fresh.
Okay.
And you know what the thing about mussels is? They're so fucking cheap, which I love. A pound of mussels, which is like enough for one person, is $5.99. So you got like $5.99 for like a whole stack of mussels. That's 2 pounds of mussels. That entire pot cost me like $11.
$11.
Plus,
Yeah,
and this is how you do mussels. So basically, you boil water, you drop them in for 7 to 8 minutes to steam them / boil them. I mean, steaming is better, but boiling is fine. Then you drain 90% of the water, leave 10% of the juice of the mussels. Then I added probably like a stick of butter, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, a lemon, and then I covered them up again, did them for like another minute, and then in a separate pot I melted butter, more garlic, more lemon to make more like a thicker sauce. And then when that was done, I poured it over top of them, and then just chopped a bunch of parsley fine, tossed it on them, a fresh baguette alongside, and that's your dinner. We scooped it, ate it greedily. It was fantastic, enjoyable. And then the best part about it is when you're done with a dinner like that, you know what you do? You take all the shells, you throw them back in the pot, you fill it with water, throw in a mirepoix, which is chopped carrots, celery, and onion, or of any variation that you want. I just threw in some onions because I didn't really need, I don't, you know. You boil it overnight, not boil it, you keep it low overnight. It'll reduce a little bit, but you'll also end up with like a really flavorful stock, essentially, soup base. You bottle that up and you can make a great fucking soup with that. You're gonna have this garlic, buttery seafood stock with a bit of onion in it that you can add some cream to, add some escargot to, add some garlic to, and you're gonna have like a delicious creamy escargot potato soup if you wanted to, which I think is gonna be the next thing I'm gonna make.
That's so amazing.
Use the whole lemon, damn straight. Lemon's like the thing. But yeah, mussels are the cheapest, best thing ever. They are so cheap. They're cheap here too, and we're not even on the east coast, so.
Right.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, you can get
and
them.
white wine.
Now, are they cheap in the regular grocery store, or are they cheap in like the... Really? Yeah.
I bought them at, where did I buy them?
Foodland or Longo's or whatever?
I think I went to Sobeys.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think because I bought them at the fish counter at Sobeys. Yeah,
I think I've always been kind of intimidated by stuff like mussels, and like that always seemed like fancy restaurant food to me.
It's funny because, and Megan hit it on the head, mussels are like the poor man's food. It's like it's the poor man's seafood. That's what they are. They're super, super cheap, and they're like bottom feeders. Like people don't think, like, I grew up, and I mean, my family is wealthy now. My parents are wealthy, but I'm like, we grew up, you know, not well off, like craft dinner and like whatever every night. And that's not woe is me thing, but just to say that mussels were like one of the things. I just mean to say that it's inexpensive and it's, you know, good eats. That's why we ate it a lot growing up. Same with Joe. Both of us like mussels because both of us like sympathize with like eating it a lot when we were kids. It was like the thing to eat. But yeah, no, super not intimidating, and maybe that should be another thing that we cook. Maybe I'll do mussels because I can cook that in a fucking heartbeat. That'll be another make shit episode. We make shit episodes. Seafood is so great for that kind of stuff, and I would love to do more seafood because honestly, I love it.
It's delicious. Yeah,
it's so good.
And it's like it's something that I don't know. Do you normally just make this for like you one night? But it seems like more of a special thing that you do seafood.
Yeah, no. I mean, to me, the biggest fallback with cooking for me is just the reason to do it. If Joe's like, oh, I could go for a nice meal, I'm gonna cook it like that. But most of the time, I'm too lazy. Like tonight, what the hell did I make for dinner tonight? A salad, spinach, candied nuts, apple, cranberries, dressing, and something else in it. Something sharp.
Like,
oh, grated Parmesan. Actually, tonight was pretty good dinner. But last night was shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was leftover Greek. It was Greek food. Ordered Greek food because I didn't feel like cooking, which is good.
I love that we just
didn't make it.
I love that we just went on like a 30-minute.
Whatever. People are watching.
No, it's fantastic. No, people are digging it. It's fine. The episode's over. It's not like it's mid-game, which we
exactly.
Would
That's one
probably
of the biggest issues. People who don't like
quickly
this turn out. Mussels, lobster, catfish, salmon, all peasant foods originally. Yeah, lobster was. Joe and I were talking about that. I didn't realize that, but lobster was super peasant food. Catfish is so fucking good. Blackened catfish. Oh, turkey soup. I didn't get turkey. I'm hungry apparently. And a fillet.
I'm pretty hungry.
Filet. Anyway, enough about foods. You now all have Harlan's Guide to Component Dinners, which is not perfected. I should call it version 1 because I forgot a few things that I put on my tray. But I think it's pretty damn good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy with
it's a good starter set.
It's a great starter set. Good version.
I'll let you know how it goes. I'll post it.
Do.
I'll even post a picture to the group if you guys want to see.
Yes, please do. You should post a picture of all your. Every time you do a nice cook job, you should.
We'll do a sister series called Justin Tries to Make Shit.
Aww.
And we'll just post
you did a
that
great
up
job
there.
Although I gotta say, it was really funny
Pancakes?
after we what?
Pancakes?
No, pancakes are great. No. After you and I cooked the chicken, I remember you texted me the next day, which was pretty funny because you were like, "Hey, I'm giving this a try," blah blah blah, and I was like, "Good job." And then you sent me a text like 5 minutes later. You were like, "Burnt this. This." What did you say?
Yeah. Well, I forgot what order you did the whole
really
sage
funny.
thing in.
No, you didn't text me at all. You texted me at 12, and you just said, "I burnt the butter sauce." LOL. And I said, "LOL." And then you're like, "Was I supposed to do the butter before the sage?" And you're like, "Yeah, I messed that up." But it looked good anyway. Your stuff.
It was fine. Yeah.
No, it tasted
let me
good.
see.
What's that?
Yeah, tasted okay.
Yeah. That's how
they were just like blacker than I was.
No, but
than
listen,
they looked with yours.
And that's not a judgment. I'm so impressed that you were like trying to cook, or that you were cooking right after, and you cooked it well. It was just really funny that it was like, I remember because you
like right
left the night before. You're like, "I'm gonna try it next," and nothing until I burnt the butter sauce. Like the first thing. It was really funny.
No, it was fine. I mean, that's like, this is how I learn. Is by like, I mean, I can go to like a million lessons, but like until I actually sit down and try it and do it and make the fucking mistakes and burn shit, it's not gonna register.
Dude,
like,
totally.
It might, but
no, I totally agree, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I want to cook more, and I want to have a reason to cook, which is why I want to keep cooking. We gotta do this. I made a steak for myself the other night, and when I finished it, I was like, "Fuck! I should have like had Justin over because it was like a perfect opportunity to like do a really good steak."
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of steak, my dad and I went to the keg last night, and he got a steak. I got ribs because last time I got the steak and I was not feeling it. He actually got the surf and turf.
Did he? That's fun.
Yeah.
Was it good?
But it's good there. It is good. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's overpriced. Like now that I figure I can just cook with you now, right?
Definitely. But, steak, and steak is like, it's definitely, there's a big markup on it. But the one thing I will say that the reason I don't mind going out is like to get a really good steak in a specific way, it can be tough at home. Because like my favorite cut of steak, as not most people, but many people, is like the T-bone or like the porterhouse, which is like, you know, the fillet and the strip loin in the one piece with the bone in the middle. And most steaks, if you're doing like a strip loin or like a fillet, you can sear them on like a cast iron pan, so heat can be from the bottom.
Right.
But because of the bone, when you sear a T-bone, you don't do it on the bottom, you do it on the top. That's why they have like salamanders at restaurants that are really, really hot. Steakhouses have high-end salamanders that get like 800 degrees on the top. And that's because when you sear meat, it retracts a little bit from the bone. And if you basically wouldn't get a clean sear if you put it on the bottom. So you sear it from the top. So when you do it at home, you need to figure out a way to do it from the top. You can do it. The easiest way to do it, because your broiler will never get hot enough, easiest, quote unquote easiest way to do it, is to get like a barbecue chimney, like for your barbecue, and basically make charcoal on the top of it and then put that on top of your steak, which is really funny, because then you'll get like a charcoal crisp crust on the top. Now I'm really hungry for steak, but it's difficult. And the other reason I like going to steak, and I like going out every once in a while for a steak, is because one of the most difficult ways to cook a steak is one of my favorite ways to cook a steak is Chicago style, or I think they call it Pittsburgh style. There's two, it's the same thing, but it's basically where it's like blackened on the outside almost and like still rare on the inside, and you can only do that with hot heat on a charcoal grill to get that sort of example. And that's really tough at home, because I'm not going to fire up my grill for one steak. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go outside and make the charcoal hot, and it's like just not worth it. And Joe,
so then you wouldn't really go to a restaurant just for a sirloin or for a filet mignon or something.
Would I go to a restaurant? No. If I could do it at home, I wouldn't do it. But if I'm going to a steakhouse, I'm going to get a T-bone, and I'm going to get it Pittsburgh or Chicago style, because otherwise I can do it at home, and it's pretty much just as nice and saves you a lot of money. But yeah, it's really good.
Well, this has been Cooking Talk with Harlan Guthrie, Justin Thomas James.
I'm hungry now. I should go make a steak before bed.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry too.
Healthiest time to do it.
I want to taste this. I'm wondering, it wouldn't be bad if I opened it and tasted a little bit.
No, not at all. You should. It'll taste oniony, it'll taste sweet, and it will taste savory. You said it's caramel or caramelized?
Caramelized.
Because there's a ton of sugar in onions.
Woo! Okay.
Use a pencil.
I have a spoon from breakfast.
Ooh, that's a big piece. I bet it's very oniony.
It was very oniony, but not like bad. Like it's not like sometimes like fresh onion. Like because it's cooked, I think it's a little lighter. That's nice. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that'll go nice with stuff.
Very good. Yeah. Mike asked, do they use torches to do things like that? I think not steakhouses might use torches, but like if it's a steakhouse, it should have a grill and a salamander. But like if you're like a regular restaurant and you offer steak, maybe they do torches. I have no idea. Anyway, that is it from us, ladies and gentlemen. That is the biggest detour we've ever had. Hope you have a fantastic night. We will see you next Wednesday. And as my very good friend Justin always likes to say,
hope you feel better, Joe.
Hope you feel better, baby. Good night.